return to the courtroom. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. We're going to start the day the same way that we did yesterday, and that is with the same question. Has anything occurred since we were last together that causes any of you to believe you could not continue to serve as a fair and impartial juror in this case? If so, please raise your hand. No response. All right. Yesterday, when we took our break, we were in the midst of some recorded phone calls. I think that's where we're resuming today with that. Mr. Allen?
Judge, I assume that we should probably bring Mr. Stauch back up and then start the next call, and then he can step back down again, if that's okay with you.
They've all been admitted. It's up to you. If
you're fine with me just playing it, we can just jump into it.
If there are different voices that he has to identify, then maybe you need his testimony. If not, it's up to you.
Okay, well, let's just jump into it. So this will be, just for record purposes, People's Exhibit number 36, which is another recorded phone call from February 15th, 2020 at 10:58 a.m.
All right, thank you.
Go for it. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, what's wrong?
I'm tired of crying.
Huh?
I'm tired of crying.
Well, happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where's Lena?
Lena's at school right now. So, why? What's up?
I can't ask you where our kids are at.
Yeah, I think that's a fair question. Where's Harley at?
She had to go to the doctor last night because she had a bad chest pain and the recruiter. She was so underweight.
What hospital did she go to?
Because someone could be listening and know where we're at.
Tisha,
No, I don't know. You talk crap about me. You treated me wrong.
Where did I talk crap about you? I haven't said nothing to nobody.
In your school, posting all this stuff, messages you sent them, how horrible of a person I was.
When did these messages come from? Years ago, maybe? I mean,
Don't know when.
but you know what?
Posted them to everybody.
But what have I always said about social media? I don't give a crap what people say. People are just looking for a headline, okay?
I'm tired of doing this, Albert. You should have talked to me about all the other stuff. I'm not.
Oh, what other stuff, Tisha?
I've asked you for help. I said, hey, me and Harley needed something. I've asked you for help. You turned me down. You know good and well. Anytime you've ever needed help, I've been there for you.
Tisha, let's walk back through this now. Just to be straight up, okay? You took over $2,000 out of the bank account at the beginning of the month, and I didn't say a word to you about it, okay? All right, that's like 1/3 of what I get every month. So you got 1/3 of my monthly income. All right, so that being said, I've also offered help and safety and teamwork the whole time, and you guys decided to, step out on your own. And I haven't bothered you, but I've never looked back in there. I've never told you no for anything. And I've been.
Well, I did pay $2,000. It was $1,500 because I had to have a place to stay. I kept begging you and asking you that people should not have been in the home.
Okay, well, hold on.
It should have been nobody but your family.
You're right.
My family, your home.
Okay, I understand your opinion. So I want to clarify because you took, I'm not going to fight over the dollar amount. You took over $1,500 in that one lump sum, not to mention the other ones, but that one lump sum you did take $1,500 and some dollars, and you can't get, but you've told me from like almost the first minute you don't have a place to stay. So do you or don't you?
It was it cost $125 a night for a hotel, and then I had to pay a pet fee. Add that up how many nights I get. Plus we had to have food. We didn't have a way around. We had to Uber. Add that up.
Were you Ubering yesterday when we were talking? Because I heard you get in and out of a car. I'm just trying to piece all this together, Tisha. I don't know what's going on. I've heard so many stories here. I'm just trying to, as I've always said, I'm just trying to find the truth, and I keep getting a different version of it.
There's this little guy that stays at the hotel. He has an old white car, and he let me drive to the store. You know how bad it is for me to ask somebody to drive their car to the store?
And in this effort to help you that I've been trying to do, you won't tell me where you're staying.
Because you're not on my side.
But you're not.
You're on my side if you're talking crap about me. You're
Tisha,
on my side if I call you and I try to talk to you, and you can't talk to me for being around other people. That's not my side.
but you got to understand what I'm going through. I don't know what the hell's going on minute to minute. I don't know who's on whose side. All I'm focused on is Gannon, and I don't want obviously people. You see it on the social media. People are not happy with you. I don't know why. I don't know what reason they have or don't have, but I can't sit here and be talking to you, my wife, in front of all these other people, and then, go through all the cussing and yelling and screaming and the drama. So I'm trying to respect you as well. And I need that in return. I need you to respect me too. And that, but no.
I've been talking crap about you.
Okay, I've heard that you have not really said anything about me per se directly. Okay, but you did release some of those documents, or however they got out there. They're out there. Okay, but what I need you to do, you talk about respect. That's one of the most important things to me in my life is you respecting me, and you can respect me with the truth. And that's the bottom line. We have options to work through all this other stuff, all this other drama that's going on. But the truth is really at the. The options don't come into play until I get the truth. Okay, that's absolutely, and I know you're not going to like this, but that's a line in the sand that I'm not crossing. Okay,
You already kicked me off my own car insurance and wouldn't even tell me.
that's not true.
My car, you kicked
not
me
true.
off of there.
That's not true, Tisha. You got an email. You got email notification the same minute I did, so you got notified.
Why
Absolutely.
did you not talk to me about this?
Well, on February 8th, I didn't get any kind of confirmation that 2 of my vehicles were deleted, and there's no one else that has access but you. Okay, so you tell me what the truth is.
No, they were all getting put in storage. So if it was done wrong, then that wasn't on purpose.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not the insurance is not a point of argument to me. You have every right to call them back and put just like I did.
No,
No.
I tried. You know what they said to me? You have me listed as ex, so I had to be on a separate policy.
Well, exactly. Okay, because that's where we're at right now. That's the line in the sand. Okay, the line in the sand is we have a gap between us right now. Okay, absolutely. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because I don't sugarcoat it with you. Okay, we have a gap between us. You can put a label on it however you want to, but that gap there's no closing that gap. There's no initiating options or anything until we get to the truth. And I really feel deep down in my heart that we can work on this together. We do have options, but I think your list you sent to me is a great starting place. I think that is excellent that you're willing to at least talk about what options we have.
Did you talk to an attorney?
Huh?
Did you talk to an attorney and file for divorce?
I have not filed anything yet. And the fact that I'll tell you the answer to that, okay? But the fact that you are reaching out to me like that, the way you did, say, like, did you go to this attorney and file this? That means you don't trust me. You don't have respect for me, and you got somebody watching me. Tell me the truth.
Well, I didn't. Someone told me.
Who told you?
Do you not think it's all online in the social media that you told someone that and someone posted it?
Who posted it? Because I haven't told anybody anything about that.
Well, someone knows because it's online, just like it's online about some girl talking junk about her best friend and she's best friends with your sister and that's what she said. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but once again,
Out there.
well, yeah, you're right. I fully agree with you. Once again, that's why I've told you forever that I don't get into that crap because it's just you're getting torn every direction by people's stupidity. Okay. So, anyways, let's not worry about that. About how you know what you know. Okay.
Go ahead. The basic thing is, I reached out to that lady. She doesn't write me back. This is how I've been treated. I've been treated like a criminal when I told them exactly that Gannon left with someone.
Which lady? What lady are you talking about? The Amber lady?
No, Bethel, because she's the lead investigator.
That's the blonde lady from Starbucks.
Yeah.
The blonde lady from Starbucks.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The lead investigator.
Okay. All right. I got you. Well, I mean,
Contact with her.
not since that first day. I mean, that first day when I told you I met with Mark for like, I don't know, 6-7 hours, and then she jumped in for like 20-30 minutes, or whatever that night, the day I got there, that Tuesday. Since then, and since we met her, and then she asked me a few questions, I really haven't had any interaction with her. So I've been dealing only with Mark. He's been my.
Why did you leave that day and not talk to me and go on my call?
Leave what day?
When you first talked to them that night and you were going to pick up people from the airport, why did you leave and not talk to me?
I'll give you the straight up honest truth right now, because at that point in the situation, and we're at the same point now, unfortunately, 3 weeks later, at that point, I was not getting the whole truth. Okay. And I'm not going to argue with you about that because that's absolutely spot on. Okay.
From me, you leave from me, everything's fine, and you just have to get there, and then you feel like you're not getting the truth.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because there were some things that I was looking into on my own, which I've basically been doing for 3 weeks now, trying to sort through this on my own, that weren't making sense and weren't adding up. Okay. And just like where we're at now, yesterday, thank you for talking so long and walking me through your timeline. But even yesterday when we were talking, a lot of it wasn't adding up, and it still isn't. Like, there's 3 or 4 different versions of the Mexican guy now. He's Uncle Matt. First he was Mexican or whatever. I don't want to argue.
I said he asked me, did he know Uncle Matt?
Yeah.
I said he wasn't Uncle Matt.
All right, and I'm not arguing about that. I'm just telling you these are red flags. You know how I am. When I see red flags, you got to convince me that the truth is what it is. Okay, so I'm sitting here last night on my bed freaking out because I don't know. I feel like some of that was the truth, but then some of it still was, a different version of the same story again. So what I really want to get to.
Ask me, did I kill Gannon? That hurt.
It hurt me to ask it because you're my wife, and first thing I started with today was Happy Valentine's Day. That should tell you how I feel about you, okay? But
I need you to be here with me, supportive.
I am. I'm right. I'm right here. I'm right here.
I'm begging you. If they give me immunity, I will help.
Okay, but here.
I can't get in trouble for it.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm trying to I'm not. You have the legal background. Okay, I don't have that knowledge. All I have is my recruiting time and the other stuff I've done. So you need to help me understand what you're trying to get. I don't understand what that means.
Immunity, okay? Do you know what immunity is?
Other than what I've seen on TV shows, I don't know. I need you to help me. That's what I'm trying to. Help me to get you to that point. Hello.
Immunity is they're going to grant. I'm a judge. That I would not be charged anything in this. Because I didn't have anything to do with it. In return, that I will testify and I will give them the information of who has given and I will testify against them.
Okay. So you're saying so I'm going to walk back through this so I understand clearly what you're saying. So there's no ambiguity or unknowns here. So you're saying you somehow know where Gannon is or who has him or how he got him or something like that?
Ho. See, that's why you're not going to put words in my mouth.
I'm trying to understand, Tisha. I'm explain to me, okay? Walk me through it so I understand what you're saying. No, why would I record you? This is me and you. Why would I say Happy Valentine's Day on a recording? That's something personal between us.
It's just you and me on this phone call and in your room.
Absolutely. Okay.
Immunity is where I'm telling you, I told you the truth about Mr. Gannon. There's more details about how that went on. There's more details that I can't discuss that would incriminate myself because they're going to say, why did you say this? But he has all our information. He was threatening to go to work and get massaged and have these people go there. If I said anything in the meeting with the cops, I was late to the meeting. But I need immunity.
So
I get to.
So why? What I don't understand is why, babe. Why is this not something you would tell me from the get-go? I just.
Everything. They're going to kill my daughter. They were going to kill me. They knew where you were at. Everybody. They would do everything.
Yeah, but Tisha, look at what you just said. But Tisha,
What?
I'm trying to understand.
The only thing is surprising you. I need immunity, please.
If you were, no, why would I record you? What I'm trying to figure out is why your first thought, your first thought is what they may do to you and Harley, but something was already done to Gannon, and we're not worried about that. That should be the priority.
They should have been Harley. It was also Lena. She was there too.
So the guy was there and was threatening you in the moment?
The guy was there when the police.
The guy was still there when the police searched the home?
Yes.
Where was he at? Where was he at when they searched our house?
Can't tell anything until I get immunity.
Well, I can't promise you immunity. I can't give that to you. But I mean,
Well, you can ask.
yes, I can reach out to Mark and let him know that's what you're looking for and that you're willing to work with somebody. And you can also tell, what's her name again? Bethel. You can tell Bethel. Just say,
Sir, she won't like that.
okay, well, you got you.
They're going to treat me like a criminal. No, I'm not a criminal. I don't kill people.
Okay, I never said you did. You're tired of what?
I get that. I have got it yesterday from him. Yesterday I got a message.
What, did you send that to anybody?
What?
Where's the message? Can you send me the message so I can see it? Just if you email it to me or email it or text it to me so I can see it.
Immunity. They're going to try to incriminate me.
Tisha, Tisha, who is this? Who is the person? Do I know this guy?
Do you understand?
Is he there? Is he there with you? What?
Listen to me. He told us a big reward. Well, I'll get back and get a big reward.
So I heard there's a reward coming out. That somebody said that the neighborhood's trying to do a reward.
Here you and Mike.
So but what happened with the bike situation? I don't think we ever.
You don't get immunity.
Okay, well, I told you I cannot promise that. Okay, that's not something I can promise you. I can promise you help or whatever, but I can't promise immunity. That's something that the investigators got to reach back out to you.
They're on your side, and this is where you can go to them, and you can say, "I know, I want to know. She is breaking out, and she is telling the truth."
Yes, I can advocate for you. I can give an opinion, but but listen. What I don't understand is you're treating me like the prosecutor here. Okay, you're treating me like I'm in court or the law, not like I'm our son's father. Okay, but
You do it. I genuinely don't know. I can't even go anywhere because they think I'm going to tell. They're release the reward. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to stop it. They're not going to stop it.
I do too. But these.
I promise. Please, what can I do? Please, what can I do?
Here's what I need you to do for me. Okay, I understand and I respect that you don't feel safe telling me certain things. Okay, I'm not going to press you on certain things, but I need to know something about my son. I need to know something about Gannon. Do you know if he's safe? Do you know? I mean, I asked you some questions yesterday, and I had to ask those questions because that's been on my mind since day one. Is he safe? Where is he at? Do you have anything?
And if I kill Gannon, really?
Yes, I had to ask that because there was. Well, I would never not tell you the truth over and over and over again. So.
Your life, everybody else's life. You're terrified. You don't know what to do. You're scared to death. You don't know how you would act. Because people are going to say, "Why did you do this? Why did you do that?"
Listen. What about the? What about this? I'm trying to think of any way to cue the police to offer you immunity if they can. Okay, I'm trying to find a way to get them alerted to you might have some information. What if you told me just one key thing and I just called in on the tip line or something? Because it'll be anonymous. But they won't ever know because I'll do it. I'll be just some man calling in an anonymous tip. And I mean, the key here is to get Gannon in the investigation and then protect you if they're able. But why won't they? Who is they? Why won't they budge? What is it about the money that's the key?
No, because they keep asking. I got messages. They're going to be a reward. You better not say anything. I know you got some everything on my mind. I just
Tisha, listen. Despite how this has gone, you know for a fact you could always trust me, okay? I know you may be worried about your name getting out there from this information. I don't want anything to do with the media. I don't want anything to do with Facebook or social media or anything, okay? You know, because I've absolutely been off of that. That's why I'm saying I can give the anonymous tip if you just tell me something that'll help in the investigation, okay? That's the no.
The police came.
Okay.
The police came. He was in the house.
Where was he at in the house?
I didn't know at the time. I thought they were going to find him because the guy was like, "Can we please search the house?" And I said, "Sure."
Okay.
Terrified, which is why I sent Lena and Harley to Dollar Store and all these places because I thought Gannon was hiding too. I thought he was hiding
Okay, so you thought so the guy was in the house and you thought Gannon was hiding, so he hadn't taken Gannon yet at that point?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, that's huge. That's huge because now we can look at different camera time frames and all that, and we can look at different angles. Okay, that's huge that he was still in the house, and so that would have been police got there at what? Like
that. I'm not making this up.
I'm not. No, I know. I'm trying to sort through this again. I'm trying to get you to this point to where
Not anymore, because they'll try to get me, discriminate me for this. I need immunity.
I think they give it to you because this is big that he was there and they missed it. Because then they're going to want to cover their shit for not finding him. I can't hear you. What?
I even put it in the car. I put it in my really store stuff. I tried.
You did what? You did what? Oh, you said what? What did you do?
I tried to point to the cops and hey, check this area. Hey, check this area. I was even trying to show them any other extra areas that I saw. I said I didn't know if Gannon was with him or I didn't know if Gannon was by nobody. I didn't know at that point.
Okay, but then you figured out. How'd you figure out he wasn't by himself?
I'm not selling anything else until I get immunity.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to put all this together. You said you pointed them in the direction, but where in the storage room were you?
Directions. I said I was just giving all the big areas of the house.
I got you. So you told them storage room?
I walked through the storage room when the guy was in there. I was trying to tell him, hey, check behind boxes and all this stuff.
Okay, so
I didn't want to make it a thing. The idea they were having to put one cop right here.
okay, so what happened next? So the cops searched and missed it, or what? Tell me what. I'm trying to figure out what happened now. What you're telling me? Okay, what happened after they didn't find him?
I'm not saying anything else because they're trying to plot this whole thing.
No, I'm trying to get some key breaking information that I can give an anonymous tip, like I told you. Okay, that's what I want to do. That's how.
Never mind. They're not trying to help.
I am trying.
He's not trying to help. No, he's not. He's not trying to help.
I am. So what you said was Gannon. You thought Gannon was hiding. Is that right?
I didn't know if he was hiding with the guy had him or if he was hiding myself. I was scared to keep. If I would have left him a note, they'd be like, please check out. He's fine. I didn't know they had went out the back door. I didn't know where he was at the time. I know he was there. I thought they were gone. And after I waited the 4 hours, kept walking, checking myself, I realized it. I couldn't go back and get to the car because the car was in there. I hate myself. I couldn't get your big gun to work.
So let me back up. So when you let the cops in the door, wherever you last saw Gannon, you left him somewhere, or you thought he was safe?
Yeah.
Like you thought he was safe hiding, or you thought he was with the other person, or what?
I woke up, Albert, and I hit my head. I didn't know what it was. I already told you this story. I waited. I was like, I thought he was hiding somewhere in the house for it to come out. But when the police got there, he would come out. And when I called for him, I thought he was out of the police.
Do you think he might have crawled in one of the totes or something, or maybe the box? 'Cause
After the police left, he was still
the guy or Gannon?
the guy was at first, and I said, I thought he was back into him, and told him to shut the door and don't come out.
What, did they already come back?
I was just trying to get yourself to work.
But so you said my gun. You trying to get my gun to work? Tisha, calm down for a second. You said try to get my gun to work. I thought the guy had my gun. Oh, that one. Okay. So you put Harley and Lena in our room? Tisha, is that what you said? You put. So you already had the assault rifle out of the closet at this point, and you. Okay, I know you always had trouble getting that thing to pull it back and get it loaded and all that, so that makes sense. So, you're not going what? How is this, what is key about this that I can call an anonymous tip that helps me find Gannon?
You can call in and get community. I can give you the guy's ID. I can ID him in a lineup. I can give you his name.
Tisha, you know I can't promise you anything. I'm not the police or the judge. I can't promise you immunity. I can put you in contact with them, and I've done that.
Please call me back, please. Please call me back.
I will. I'll get, as soon as we get done talking in a little while, I'll get on the phone with Mark and tell him to tell that lady to call you back and quit stalling or whatever she's doing. I don't know what the hell's going on, but Mark will get on it. He's always been.
You call me the guy. He lied about his name. We're trying to get the bike.
Right. Tisha, listen, I there's something that you can give me that can help fix this right now, okay? I don't know if you're willing to, I hope you are, but if you give me the name of the person, if I know this person, that I can fix it right now, okay? I guarantee you I can. Yeah, I'm not gonna I can't. Well, who is it so I can tell them who to be looking for to protect you? I can promise you that. Tisha, I can't promise you that. I know they will work with you, okay? I know they will. I need the person's name so I can get Mark and tell them to go find this person.
I hear people in the background.
There's nobody here. I just need to know this person's name because if it's Travis or somebody related to Chance or somebody. Is it Travis? Because I know you said he was abusive.
They're going to try to incriminate me.
No, they're not. I don't know. I can't promise you anything. Listen, I will fight for you and fight with you if you're not involved in this and you give me this name. Is it Travis? Listen, I'm gonna text Mark right now so you can hear me text Mark, okay? Because you can hear the little keystrokes. I'm gonna tell him as we're talking so we can get this ball rolling.
Listening to me, I hear.
Nobody. That's me texting Mark right now to tell him to get Bethel to call you.
I hear somebody hollering.
Nobody's crying and hollering. Just like the other day when you said that, nobody's here. I'm standing here trying to figure this out and get a name.
Where's everybody else at?
What, like Uncle Jeff? He's getting on a plane and Landon and Aunt Veronica, they hit the road back to Dallas. And I think they're going to take Lena for the weekend because it's a 4-day weekend. So I'm here by myself, like I told you. They're getting Lena after lunch because she had a little lunch program going on. Okay, but that only matters if we can get this ball rolling. You could tell me this name, and then you can reach out to the police for immunity or help or whatever they can offer you, okay?
Probably need to get immunity. They're not tricking me. They took everything I have. These people know where I'm at. They're in a gang. I will not.
What kind of gang are they in?
I don't know.
Oh, Tisha. Well, what happened that ruined that? I know that's another part I don't understand. Is what? Tisha, so this guy, I know you're trying not to tell me his name, but after the police left, remind me, I don't remember. I know Harley and Lena went out to look. Did you go look for Gannon? You knew the guy was in there, or you didn't, or what did you do after the police left? Tisha, did this guy kill Gannon? Did he kill him in the house, or did he kill him or hurt him? What happened? It's my son, and I need to know this. No, Tisha, not you. I'm not you. I trust you. I asked you that yesterday, and I trust what you're saying. I asked you, did this guy hurt Gannon, or did he kill Gannon in the house, or do you know if he killed Gannon or not?
Immunity.
Tisha, I've explained to you, I can't give you immunity. I'm your husband. I'm not the police or the judge.
I'll be back when you can figure out and I can grant the immunity because this ain't going to stop. It's going to keep going, and he's crazy.
Tisha, there's only one way for this to stop, and that's for me to get the information to them, okay, through an anonymous tip, like I said, but I don't have any information to give them. Did this?
Yes, I should tell you. Hey, this person, you put
Yeah, and Tisha, I'm trying to fight for you here, okay? I made it clear I don't have the power to give you immunity. I have the power to help you.
Call me back whenever you
Tisha, they're not gonna listen to me, okay? They're absolutely gonna call me foolish. I am trying to help you. They're gonna look at me like a fool. Tisha. I can't hear you.
You're not helping me, Albert.
I'm trying to.
Someone killed somebody. I don't know if anyone killed anyone.
What do you know? What's the guy's name? I gotta know the guy's name, Tisha. Okay, I'm trying to help you, but you're not freaking letting me help you, okay? All right, shut up. Well.
Mr. Allen?
Yeah, so we would just want to have Mr. Stout come back on the stand and ask him some follow-up questions, Judge.
Okay, all right, Mr. Stauch, if you would resume your seat in the witness stand, I remind you, sir, that you're still under oath.
Good morning, Mr. Stout. How are you doing today?
Morning.
So at the very beginning of that call, you told the defendant Happy Valentine's Day. Did this call actually occur on Valentine's Day?
I believe so. If I would have said that, I don't know the date you quoted when we started, but
Okay. The date of the call was February 14th of 2020.
so absolutely then.
There's a question in that beginning portion where the defendant was asking you questions about where you were and where Lena was, and then you responded with, "Where's Harley?" Similar to the phone call that we talked about yesterday. At this time of this call, did you know where the defendant was anywhere?
I did not, nor did I know where Harley was.
When the defendant started making statements about the guy was in the house when the police came, in your mind, was she referencing when the police first responded to your house at 6627 Mandan Drive?
That's what I assumed she was referring to, yes.
Did you have any independent knowledge of them finding a man in the house when they responded on that day?
I did not, no, sir.
You, in that phone call, you also pressed multiple times for getting names or trying to figure out a way to identify a guy that she's talking about at the beginning. Did she ever give you a name or any identifying features of this person?
Not in that phone call, no, sir.
And then later on in the phone call, it changes into there's a gang that's involved. Did she give you any idea of who this gang might be?
I don't remember ever getting that information, no, sir.
Ever?
I don't believe so.
Okay. In a big chunk of that phone call, obviously no way to know because you're not in the same room with the defendant, but did it sound like the defendant was crying to you?
Based on previous experience with her, there was times when I assumed yes, she was crying, and there was times when I assumed it was fake crying as well. Or
In-
fake emotions in that phone call, yes.
In that phone call?
In that specific one, yes.
So in your mind, you were thinking that some was potentially real and some was potentially fake?
Yes, sir.
In your mind, did you think that she was trying to manipulate you in the course of the investigation?
Overruled.
Yes, sir.
One of the questions that you asked the defendant very specifically was whether she knows Gannon is safe. Do you remember that question?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever get an answer from her on that question?
No, sir.
You mentioned in the phone call too about you're going to give information to the detectives so they'll quit stalling. Similar to the phone call yesterday, were you actually with law enforcement when this call occurred
I was.
and they were listening?
Yes, sir.
Was you saying, hoping that they would quit stalling, I guess, was that a tactic to keep her talking?
Absolutely.
Two names that you gave in that phone call were Travis and Chance. Who are those people just in general?
Travis would have been an ex-boyfriend of the defendant, and Chance would have been an ex-husband of the defendant, also Harley's father.
Did you ever have any indication that either one of those two names were involved in Gannon's disappearance?
No, sir. Chance was deceased by that point, and no indication of Travis either at all.
Okay. In relation to that that gang reference, was there ever a gang that was after you and your family?
Not to my knowledge.
And then similar questions to what I asked you yesterday, the sound of the defendant's voice in that phone call, was that consistent with her personality as you know it?
Absolutely.
In this particular phone call, did she ever change personalities to a different personality?
I was talking to the defendant the entire time.
And so never changed voice inflections or
Yes,
anything
sir.
like that? Okay, thank you. So Judge, at this time, we would want to move into playing People's Exhibit 37, which is another recorded phone call on February 14, 2020 at 12:08 PM. This one's roughly 8.5 minutes long.
All right, Mr. Stauch, you can go ahead and step down.
Yes, sir.
Hello? Hello?
Now what I said,
I can't hear you. Hello?
it said it's the signal.
Okay, well, what? Because you hung up on me and I'm not really feeling this right now. So what do you got for me?
I can't help it. Somebody goes in and out.
Fine, whatever.
You were being all nice, scaring, listening, everything, and all of a sudden you started being hateful.
Yeah, because you got information I need for my son that everybody needs to get this boy back. Okay?
Okay, so now you're saying I got information, but then just a minute ago you told me I made it up and it was a figment of my imagination.
Okay, so it's on you to pick which one it is. It's not on me to sort through it. It's on you to tell me the truth or keep feeding me bullshit.
Beginning. Listen to me.
Yes, no. Let's start over. Let's get a new beginning here, okay? Let's start over. Because if you keep going back this same path we've been on, I'm just going to keep getting more pissed off and more hurt and more worried about my son because you've told me 17 different stories now. Start over and tell me who the fuck has my boy, okay? Tell me a name. That's the beginning. I don't care about Saturday. I don't care about Sunday. I don't care about the fucking truck on Monday. I don't care. Who has Gannon? That's what I care about. Who?
Then I want immunity.
What the fuck does that have to do with who has Gannon? I can't give you immunity. You call the police. You do what you got to do to get yourself protected from whatever you're worried about. I mean, it keeps. Anyways, I'm not dealing with that. Okay, the beginning is who has Gannon.
Did you even call the guy to ask him about immunity to talk to me? Did you?
No, because I figured you call me back. I thought you was hanging up on me. Call me back. What is he? What can I? I'm not your lawyer. Okay.
You're my husband.
Right, and I'm telling you right now, you want immunity. You want this fucking immunity because there's no dude. It's all a fucking lie, Tisha. Prove me otherwise. Just like I told you with the rape, I'll get on my knees and beg for forgiveness if it's true. If it really happened. If there is this fucking guy out there, I'll on the media, I'll go out to the world and say I was wrong, my wife was right this whole time. But there's no fucking dude, Tisha. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Yeah, prove me wrong. Was this an accident? Did something happen? Did you accidentally hurt him? Did you give him too much medicine? What happened?
So what do you think happened then? Since you think everything I have to say is wrong, since I offered help, then what do you think happened?
Well, I'm gonna tell you first of all, like I told you already, I was not home. And that's what the problem number one. Okay, something bad happened and I wasn't there to take care of it. All right. So for the rest of my life, no matter what happens, I'm gonna blame myself for this because I wasn't there because I was trying to progress in my career, be successful, and all these things. Okay, I just wasn't there. That's number one. That's the first thing that happened. Number two, I mean, you told me a lot of things that happened in like a 12, 13, 24-hour period. You talk about blood, you talk about Gannon's foot, you talk about the burns. All this happened in a short time, and they were all accidents. Nobody's to blame. Okay, nobody. And you just panicked. Okay, that's what I think. I think all this stuff happened, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe there was a big accident. Gannon took too much medicine, or Gannon hit his head, or Gannon's nose was bleeding, or I don't know, okay? I'm sitting here trying to make all these theories up, but all these things are running through my head. He hit his head on the ground, he hit his head on the wall, you picked his fingers too much and he was bleeding. Whatever the truth is, Gannon did something and it was an accident. And then I just feel like because I wasn't there to keep it all together, you panicked. And then I don't even have a theory on the rest of it. Okay, that's what I think. I think there's absolutely no guy there, and I understand why that would be on your mind. I understand that. Okay, I'm not discounting that. I'm not making you feel bad if that's something you're trying to get through this and you made that up. Okay, you've told nobody that but me. Okay, so if that's not okay, screw the police right now. This is me and you. Screw the freaking police. They're not listening anyways. You know that they're looking all these places, and you know they're not shouldn't be looking there. Okay, so they're not listening to you. I'm listening to you. I just need to know what happened. I gave you my theory up until the one point where you panicked Okay, whether it was too much blood, Gannon hurt himself, and you didn't know how to handle it, and you didn't want to call me because you were scared I might be upset at you, and I understand that. I understand that you've got this. You want to do so good for the kids and provide for them and food and clothes, and you do a great job at all that stuff. Okay, you do a great job at all that stuff, and I tell you that all the time. And you really want me to feel like you're better than Landon, and I tell you all the time that you are. Okay, I feel like all that factors into this, that something bad happened accidentally. Nobody's fault. Accidents happen, and that's what we would have told Gannon, the candle or whatever it was. Accidents happen. We could get new carpet. We can't get new children though. Okay, I tell you that all the time. We can't replace our children. We can replace clothes and carpet and couches. Who gives a fuck about that stuff? And you know I told you that. We smash a TV. Who cares about the TV? Okay, an accident happened here of some sort. You panicked and freaked out, and then I just need the rest of the story. I just need to know where Gannon is, okay? I just need to know what has happened with Gannon. Is he safe? Is he hurt? Is he alive? Is he somewhere? Okay? I don't want to hear no more about this dude unless you give me a name, okay? So I don't believe it until you give me concrete information. My theory is this. That accident happened. You panicked. Now tell me the rest.
I was there, Albert. I'll give you his name. I swear to you.
Give me his
When I
name.
tell you this part, this is why I want immunity.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay? The whole thing happened. The cops were there. Yada, yada, yada. All that was true. You keep saying I said all these stories is not what happened. I really was truly thought that Gannon was going out every day. I've been talking to somebody because he was asking me weird questions or whatever. This dude was trying to get your bike. He followed me. So I get to Petco. That's why I was looking in and out the doors of Petco.
Oh, so it wasn't about Gannon getting out. And I'm not talking junk. Okay.
You jump in there.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to
Make
understand.
sure he didn't get out because if someone was following me, I didn't want him to know someone was in the car.
Okay.
So yes, that's why.
Okay.
All I was trying to do was go get you a bike. Then I leave because I was going to go to this place to be looking at free to get a bike, and I realized that this dude was following us again. So I tried to make some turns around Palmer Lake area, in and out of that area up there, which is where they're searching because I'm sure they got my GPS, searching for nothing. And then when I had to come up the little hump, there's this dude. Well, this dude is in your truck with us.
And just so that I'm clear, Mr. Allen, that was exhibit 37, right?
37. That's
Okay, all right, go ahead.
right. Mr. Stauch can come back.
Mr. Stauch, I remind you, sir, that you're still under oath.
Mr. Stauch, in that call, you said to the defendant, you want immunity because it's a lie, there's no dude. And then you said, prove me wrong. Did she ever prove you wrong?
No, sir.
You made mention of Gannon did something, an accident, and you panicked. What were you trying to do by saying those things to the defendant?
Trying to, in a way, take the initial blame off of her and confirm her story about an accident with the candle or whatever she had claimed from the night before or whatever, and give her a freedom to talk about what happened next in her mind.
Basically give her an out so that you could try to maybe get more information?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Towards the end of that phone call, the defendant made, again, mentions of some anonymous dude in the language that she used. Did she ever give you a name of who this dude was that she was referring to?
Not in this phone call, no, sir.
All right. Was that phone call consistent with her personality?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
During that phone call, did she ever change personalities or talk with any other odd voice inflections?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Judge, at this time, we're going to move on to People's 38, which is a call on February 14th at 12:17 p.m.
All right. Mr. Stauch, you can go ahead and step down. Thank you, sir.
And Judge, this call is about a little over 21 minutes.
All right.
What happened?
I was talking away.
Okay.
Did you guys hear?
Something about you at Petco, and then you got in the truck, and the guy was there or something.
No. I asked them to go get the footage from outside of Petco.
Okay.
Not just the footage inside Petco. That's the footage we need outside of Petco. Because the guy I had followed us to Petco, and as I was pulling off to go to the Palmer Lake area, I was going to go look at the bike. Somebody was laying down in the road, acting like they were, I don't know, going to kill themselves or some crap. When I turned around and came back the other way, and this dude gets in the truck with us. I didn't have anything to knives, anything to fight anybody off or anything. I had to go like a normal time. Gannon was crying in the back seat till he threw up. He threw up because he was so scared. He followed us all. He came with us all the way back to the house. Where's the footage showing people getting out of the car? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, who got out of the car?
I mean, I saw you, and then I saw the shadow that somebody was talking about.
Other side.
The only footage I seen is the one that you said the guy got paid for. That's the only one I saw.
Okay, so when we get there, he's still in your car at this time. We all get out. The guy was with us the whole time.
Okay.
The whole entire time. I asked him, what did he want? He could take everything he wanted. He could rob us. He could do whatever he fucking wanted. Have it all. There was a struggle. There was everything back and forth. Anna was asking, did I know his Uncle Matt? Because he was saying, whoever Uncle Matt was, we don't like Uncle Matt. Uncle Matt came in at. Oh, she had something to do with it. Because I was freaking out how he would know someone by this name. I told you this.
Okay.
The guy was there when the police came. I didn't know again was that. I didn't know if he was hid. I didn't know anything. I just know I was terrified to say anything because he had the gun. And I was scared. What if he, Gannon, while I run up there and try to go get help? What if I leave to go get help and he's in here? There was nothing I could do to switch anything. My hands were tied that night. The girls were in the bedroom. My hands were tied to the little board that's on the back. My hands were tied there. Tied completely. Remember those same headphones I had on? I told you I was listening to music? Yeah, I had to do that. And that little bandana that was down there, that's where that came from. I couldn't scream, couldn't get help. Harley and Lena were asleep. It was just terrifying. All I could hear was Gannon screaming. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know anything.
Okay, Tisha, can I ask you a question? Please?
What?
Why would you need immunity for that when the guy is he's the perpetrator, not you? Why would you need immunity for this?
Because I didn't tell him.
Because you didn't, okay. Okay, I mean,
I don't know how bad he hurt Gannon. I don't know. There's no accident where I hurt him. There's nothing like that. Immunity, because people keep saying that. No, because he was in Gannon's room. I just kept crying. I just find this dude off. He is Mexican. He was mixed with black. Dark. 5'7". I gave him the facial features that was on him. His name.
okay, hold on. All right, so let me just bear with me here while I sort through this. Okay, so you have Petco, you pull out, and you're at the stoplight. Dude's laying in the middle of the road, or are you in the parking lot?
We drove up to look at the bike for it.
Oh, so the guy was at Palmer Lake laying in the middle of the road.
He followed us. I made a turn. I thought the turn was going to take me back to 25. Instead, it wraps you back around in a circle and comes back the same direction he's went up these hills.
Okay. All right, so yeah, let's stop for a second because, all right, listen, I'm going to be straight up again because I'm getting frustrated again because this is even more bullshit than the original 17 stories, okay? I mean, no guy fucking jumps in your truck. The car's locked when you're driving unless you stop and open the doors. Anyway, I'm not going to pick it apart. It's bullshit, okay? Yes.
God, this is
Tisha. No, it's not why. I want you to tell me why you panicked. Why did you panic when the accident happened? When Gannon did whatever he did, I mean, he made a mistake. Whatever happened, why did you panic? After Gannon was hurt, after he hurt himself, after he had an accident, after he banged his head or something, why did you panic?
panicking. What are you talking about?
So, wait, well, you know what? So back to this Palmer, I'm all over the place here.
Yeah, because you're trying to make it out to be me and it's not me.
No, I'm trying to make it out to be, where's my son, okay? If you were in Palmer Lake and then Douglas County and whatever, you did all these turns and turned around and this guy was out there laying in the road, he got in a truck, why do they have your GPS in your car? You were in my truck.
My phone.
No, but I thought you told me yesterday you left your phone at Petco because you had to go back to get it.
No, that was Gannon's phone. Gannon's phone was left at Petco.
You told me, yes, Tisha, I'm not stupid now. Okay, listen, you know I'm better than that. You told me yesterday, you said it almost verbatim, almost quoting you now. You said I set my phone on the counter, okay, because I had these 2 or 3 doggy sweaters or whatever, okay, and then...
Gannon's phone.
No, you told me yesterday it was your phone, and then you said it and you forgot it because you kept going and looking at him to make sure he wasn't getting out the truck. Now it's you. Teacher, but how is it all true when you've told me 7 different versions of the same thing? It can't all be true. He can't be a Mexican named Uncle Matt, lived it, but he wasn't there until he got in the.
See how you keep doing?
No, what I keep doing is not being stupid and letting you get me with bullshit, okay? I need the truth.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Really?
Really. I mean, you can smirk all you want to, you can roll your eyes, you can hit the steering wheel. That doesn't change the fact that you have the truth and I don't. I mean, because, yeah, so yesterday, it wasn't a Mexican, it was the guy riding around in the Aubrey Holmes vehicle or whatever it's called, okay? And you gave him the garage code and then he came in.
These things.
But that's what, I do understand. You're spinning me in 12 different directions to help.
Need immunity because they made me tell all this. If I don't keep saying this, you get the right person. You don't care about that. You don't care about the ability if I say anything.
No, Tisha, what I care about is you, and I care about our relationship and that the fact that we're talking together. No, you're not talking to the
Albert,
police. I'm not making you say anything. Okay, listen. I understand. I understand what you're trying to do. I understand you feel like they're making you all these things, and I understand making you say all these things. Sorry. Okay, and the fact that you're having to say all these different stories because they're pressuring you, and I blame them completely. Okay, I understand that you're just in a bad situation because everybody's after you and you feel attacked and all these things. Okay, I understand that. But if you have any faith or respect in me, you got to understand that. I believe the truth is always easier than having to go 27 different directions. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to work out with you here is just the freaking truth.
For you. He hurt. I was tied with my arm.
Okay, well, who is he? Who tied you up? Who did this? You didn't do it. Who did it? Who hurt Gannon? Who has Gannon? Who wants the money? Who hurt you?
They're gonna kill me.
Who is they? And how did he hurt Gannon? These are the questions I need to know. Who is he and who are they?
He first told me his name was. But it's not. It's Quincy Brown.
Quincy Brown. So Quincy Brown is the one who has him. What was he driving when he was following you? What was he driving when he was following you? What? A red car. See, I think that's what I was saying. You're on it. The fact that you know his name, or he said Eduardo, but you found out his name was Quincy Brown, driving a red car. What? Wait, listen. How did he hurt Gannon, and how bad was Gannon hurt?
I didn't ever get to see Gannon.
Say that again. You said. I can't hear you, Tisha. Try to calm down.
When I came out, Gannon was gone. I just could hear him screaming. I couldn't do anything.
So Gannon was screaming, and you heard him. You heard. Right. No, I said heard. I said you heard, like you heard him screaming. The guy hurt Gannon. So you know the guy hurt him, Quincy Brown. Huh?
Yeah.
Do you know what he hurt him with? Was he hitting him? Was he?
I came back in there. He started taking boxes out.
Okay, so how do you know Quincy Brown? How do you know it was him?
He told me his name was Eduardo, but he came back in there taking boxes out. And I came Quincy Brown. I saw it.
Oh, what boxes was he taking out?
I thought he was going to rob our house and take things.
So he had an ID on, and what did you see anything besides his name, like a company or something?
Quincy Brown. It was his pocket. He had his big baggy pants on, and in his pocket, the paper fell out, and on top of the paper was his ID, and it had his picture, Quincy Brown.
Okay, all right. All right, but what kind of boxes? What boxes was he taking out? Was he out of the storage room? What? I mean, what?
In the storage room.
Oh, you were in the storage.
Do what?
You did. That's the first you told me that you were in the storage room.
He tied me in the storage room. And I put the that.
I'm sorry, you were crying and screaming. I couldn't understand that part. So now I know you were tied up. You couldn't do anything because you were screaming and you had the bandana in your mouth. You were tied up. Is this after the police left and after Gannon and him were in the storage room, or before that, or what?
It was after the police left late that night. I
Okay.
realized that he was still in the house. Really laying in the room and told him to shut the door and don't come out.
Okay. All right. So what boxes was he taking out of the storage room, or what? Okay, well, you brought that up, so that's huge. I mean, if he's taking boxes, what was in the boxes? I'm just trying to sort through all this, okay? Empty boxes, okay. So back up. Gannon and this Quincy Brown guy, they were in the storage room the whole time, and you were trying to point the police to the storage room?
I never told you that. I said when the cops went to the storage room, I was trying to tell them, hey, there's a bunch of boxes piled up here. I even went through the little Christmas closet. It was like, yeah, please look through there really good.
But you did say that they were in there and that you tried to direct them somehow to the storage room. You did say that.
Not what I said. That is not what I said.
Okay, maybe I'm paraphrasing. Maybe I'm paraphrasing.
Telling him where hiding places were in the storage room.
Then where the fuck were they? It all is relevant. Where were they at? You said earlier you heard him scream from the storage room. Okay? Where were they at?
There was no screaming when the cops were there. What are you talking about?
You know, honestly, I'm kind of getting fed up because you know what? Yesterday, in the 3 previous versions, okay, it all happened in Gannon's room. Now it all happened in the fucking storage room. Make your mind up. You banged your head on Gannon's table. You were raped in Gannon's room. Gannon was beat up. He was high-fiving the guy. He was jumping on him. He was loving him. Uncle Matt, he was a Mexican. It all happened in Gannon's room. Now it happened in the storage room. God damn it, Tisha, make some sense out of this.
That is before the police got there, Albert.
What time did all that happen? What time did that happen?
You asked me about the police got there.
Tisha, to me, this is all bullshit because none of it makes sense. None of the timeline adds up. Every time you tell it to me, there's more and different details. So okay. Yeah, fine.
I have my life on the line.
Go get your fucking immunity. I hope you get it, because I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. I don't want nothing bad to happen to nobody. I want my son back.
I'm trying to help you get him back.
So at what point did you call the police? The guy was with you. He was in the house. He was just letting you call the police? Because you said he was in the truck. Well, you, him, and Gannon were in the truck, come back from wherever the fuck you picked him up on the side of the road, and he just jumped in and said, here's a hamburger, take me home or something, whatever. Okay? Yeah. I'm being a goddamn smartass because this is bullshit. Okay? So you're all in the house and you're just drinking sweet tea, and he's like, I'm holding you at gunpoint, but go ahead and call the police, please. Right? That's your story. That's your story, Tisha. That's your story. Because initially he was already in the house when you got home with Gannon. That's what you told me initially. I am listening. Okay, so all right, so assume I believe you now. So Quincy Brown is the one holding Gannon for all the money, and you didn't tell me. So now, all this 3 weeks now, you've known who has my son. You've known he's out to get you or after you or whatever, and you think I'm going to be okay with me just finding this out after I've been crying my heart out for 3 weeks now? You think that's cool? Because you're worried about your immunity?
Because I'm worried about my what?
Immunity. That's all you said all day long after yesterday when you told me 7 different stories. Today it's immunity. And now I find about Quincy Brown in a red car with boxes, has my son, and he wants money, and you never told me about it. It's like we're playing fucking Clue here or something. Or Who's Who. And yes, I'm being a smart ass because I'm tired of this shit.
I don't want nothing but my family and everything and Gannon to be there. I begged you to help me for days. I can tell you this. I begged you. But you would never have to not be around everybody and call me. Never.
You know, it's funny. I'm going to stop you right there because it's funny. You started that statement again with, I just want my family and Gannon. So that's why you keep saying shit like that. No, Gannon is part of your family. He's not an and. He's part of it. That's why I don't believe that shit because you keep saying that. Go ahead.
I am agreeing to testify against this. I am agreeing to even to walk out wherever money with the chance to fucking shoot me just to get Gannon.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I know enough about immunity that you're not gonna get immunity if you keep lying about this fucking Quincy guy. There's no fucking Quincy guy. There's no Eduardo. There's no Uncle Matt. There's nobody.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever me all you want to, but there's no fucking Quincy. Yeah. Should have freaking told me about Quincy Brown from the get-go. That's why there's no fucking Quincy Brown.
Really?
Yeah, really, Tisha. Yeah, this is just blowing my mind here that you sit here and you want to be a family, the four of us in Gannon, like you say. You want us to get back together and be all intimate and, blah, 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 blah. But you keep fucking lying to me. 5 years of lies, and now my son's gone. Where is Gannon, Tisha?
Quincy, that's who took him.
Where the fuck is Gannon, Tisha?
Quincy Brown.
Where? Where's Quincy Brown? He's obviously, you know something about him. Is he in town? Are you in town? Is Gannon in town? Who's anywhere? Nobody knows where anybody is except for you.
Earlier, you wanted to help. You wanted to listen so we can go have him arrested. But now you don't have any interest in this.
I do. I'll let them know as soon as we get off the phone. Go look for a 5'7" Mexican guy named Uncle Matt that changed his name to Quincy Brown, that works for the home developer, that his ID fell out of his pocket, and he's out there with my son. I'll tell him all that.
Now because I found out who he is.
But you said you knew him.
They're after me.
Oh, my God. Where's Gannon, Tisha?
Quincy Brown took Gannon.
You almost said his name different. Okay, is it Quincy Brown or
Brown is what I said.
where is Gannon?
All right, I think now would be a good time for a break. So we will take our break until 10:45. Again, don't discuss the case among yourselves. Don't discuss the case with anyone else. And we'll see you at 10:45. All right, the jury has returned to the courtroom. And we are resuming with testimony, Mr. Stauch. Mr. Allen?
Thank you, Ron. Mr. Stauch, in that last phone call that we just heard, February 14th, 2020, this is roughly about a little over 2 weeks after Gannon's missing. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, January 27th, so almost 3 weeks, yeah.
Yep. In the beginning portion of that phone call, it sounded like the defendant was suggesting that some guy laid down on the road and then got in the truck and Gannon threw up in the back of your truck.
Yes, sir.
When you got back from Oklahoma, did you drive your truck?
I did a few times in those early couple of days of searching.
Was there any puke in your truck?
I don't remember there being even the smell of puke in my truck. No, sir.
In that phone call, you started to press her to get details about whoever this guy was, this dude that she keeps describing. And in the call, it's just she uses a Mexican or a black, dark, found out his name. You mentioned the name Aubrey Holmes. What was that all about?
That would have been in the Lawrence Ranch neighborhood. I used to see a van, somewhat of the neighborhood headquarters or whatever. That's the home builder, maybe. I don't know specifically, but yeah, that was just a van or cars roaming around the neighborhood for supervision or whatever.
Was that also a reference back to the story that the defendant gave that she let one of the guys from the building area come into the house?
Possibly, yes.
Okay. And then during this phone call, we hear the name Quincy Brown. Was that the first time you'd heard the name Quincy Brown?
Yes, sir.
Did you know any Quincy Brown?
No, sir.
Again, similar questions to before. During this particular phone call, did the defendant's personality, was it consistent with the way you knew her personality to be?
Absolutely.
Did she change into any other different personalities during this phone call?
No, sir.
During this phone call, did you know where she was located?
No, sir.
And then there's a lot of reference to immunity from the defendant in this phone call. It's similar to the last call. In your mind, was she asking for immunity because Quincy Brown did something?
That made absolutely no sense to me, so no.
But was that what she was sort of relaying to you in your mind?
I don't know. In my mind, she was asking for immunity because she did something or knew something that would incriminate her, but she was claiming to know more that would afford her the opportunity to ask for immunity.
Did she ever, during this particular phone call, give you any actionable information that you could pass on to law enforcement that could help the investigation?
No, sir. It seemed like more spin to me.
More spin, you said?
more spin or more trying to send myself or the investigation in opposite directions.
Okay, thank you. Judge, at this time, we would move on to playing People's Exhibit number 39, which is another recorded phone call, again from February 14, 2020 at 12:41 p.m.
All right, Mr. Stauch, you can step down. Thank you, sir.
And this call is just a little under 18 minutes.
All right. That's you right.
Hey.
Hey.
Are you ready now? Are you ready to talk to me?
I have been talking to you.
Okay. Yes, you have. Okay. Where's Gannon? Where's Gannon, Tisha?
I just told you.
No, don't tell me fucking Quincy Brown. Tell me where Gannon is. There's no Quincy Brown. There's no Quincy Brown. Where is Gannon? Where did you take Gannon?
He took it. Why don't you put me in a lineup and let me look for him?
Where did you take Gannon? Where is Gannon?
Gannon anywhere.
Yeah, but you told me you did. You told me you took him to Petco and to Douglas County and tobacco. Where is Gannon?
To me, it's something I didn't do. What's wrong with you?
Where is Gannon, Tisha?
I've already told you. You think you could be this interrogator all you want?
No, I'm not. You're my wife and I'm trying to talk to you.
Hey, you're not trying to talk to me. You're trying to put me 6 feet under what you're trying to do.
Why are you so afraid to just tell me the fucking truth, the real story, just for once, okay? You can
That's
tell me
the truth.
You can tell me bullshit 20 more times. Just right now, tell me the truth. Where is Gannon? You did not tell me where he is.
I know where he is. Quincy Brown took him. What's the guy's name?
Listen, fuck Quincy Brown. Don't ever say that name to me again because it's bullshit. Eduardo is bullshit, okay? The carpet guy is bullshit.
Quincy Brown took him.
Well, tomorrow it's going to be somebody different because yesterday was the 3 other different guys.
Let's go after him.
My dumbass won't go after him. Yeah, my dumbass won't go after him. Where's Gannon, Tisha?
Come on. 'Cause you told me to tell you who had him and you would be supportive. And you still are doing this.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and pick this thing apart anymore because it's bullshit. You said this guy had something on you, something blah, blah, blah. Excuse me, blah, 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 blah. You didn't want to tell me his name. Why would you not want to tell me Quincy Brown? Who the fuck is Quincy Brown?
Right. He is going. I think it's someone. The police department has to have lineup for Quincy Brown in the area.
Did you tell Quincy Brown your name? Okay, did you give him your information? Did he take your phone? How is he messaging you? It's Quincy Brown messaging you. I do, and I'm trying to find it. How is he messaging you when he never, did you tell him, hey, my name's Tisha, my email is TishaLynn2006? What the fuck, Tisha?
Did you care? Say he has your son.
Yeah, so you ain't answering my question. You ain't answering my question because you know it's bullshit. How is he messaging you? Like I said, it's probably some Inspector Gadget. This message will self-destruct in 30 seconds, right? Some bullshit like that. Because he did.
What? Talking about?
Likewise. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This guy messaging you? What the fuck? He don't have your information?
Okay, so he hasn't been outside of a hotel?
Nope.
Okay, then you're an idiot.
Throw another one at me. What else hasn't he done? He ain't done shit. Because Quincy Brown don't fucking exist.
Maybe they need to check you and Landon since your goddamn won't go look for it.
Yeah, have them check me and Landon. They got all my shit. I turn all my shit in. My car, my phone, my email, my everything. They got all my shit.
So they have all mine too.
Okay? So I ain't worried about shit. Give me a place to look for Gannon. Tell me where he is. I'll go fucking look for him. What does Quincy Brown even look like? Is he the 5'7" Mexican? I mean, come on, goddammit. How is he messaging you? You never answered that question either. I'm getting messages. Ooh, so mysterious.
Just because someone sends you messages, Albert, doesn't fucking mean it's social media or anything like that.
I didn't say what it was. I asked you what it was.
Certain ways.
So.
You even called it into the FBI.
Oh, okay.
Hey, there's this dude, blah, 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 following us. Hey, there's another people following us. I've tried to help y'all.
So, listen.
I didn't tell you from the beginning who Quincy Brown was.
Yeah, right.
Don't give a shit.
Yeah, because you knew I wouldn't believe you because it's bullshit. So you're telling me this motherfucker came in or got in the truck, come home, beat the shit out of you or whatever he did, beat the shit out of Gannon, took Gannon from the storage room or whatever the hell that's all about, and took him, and now he's got,
I'll send you a picture.
and now he's, yeah, send it to me. Send that shit to me right now, okay? Send me fucking Quincy Brown, okay? Because you're telling me this dude is out there. He knows you know what he looks like, and he's following you? Trying to do whatever he's going to do. He's got everything he needs.
You know, at least a reward.
But you said that he's following you.
Yes, that's the reward.
When are you gonna send me this damn picture?
Okay. See? Dark skin, mixed, his
Are you freaking serious, Tisha? That's Quincy Brown right there. He's dark and Hispanic.
what?
He's dark and Hispanic. His name's Quincy Brown, right? A Hispanic guy named Quincy, like he's from South Carolina or something.
Puerto Rican, mixed,
All right, listen,
Quincy.
oh my God. This is great. How did you fucking get a picture of Quincy Brown? You Googled him?
That is who he is.
Okay, listen, screenshot your Google search. Let me see it. Like, screenshot me where you pulled that. Yeah, however you got Quincy. Guess what? Quincy probably sent you that picture in one of his messages, right? He said, hey, just in case they're looking for me, here's my latest photo.
You're a fucking dumbass.
I am a dumbass, and I need my son, and you got him.
You're sorry.
Who's got him then? It ain't fucking Quincy Brown.
You go be a fucking some balls and find him with his. Oh, but you ain't doing that shit though, are you? Because you're
I am a punk. You're right. I just want my son. You can call me a punk. You can say whatever you want to say to me. Okay? I just want.
Quincy then.
Where,
Question him then.
where can I find Quincy to question him?
I don't fucking know. Your best friends in the police department can do it.
You killing me, Tisha.
I'm not killing you.
Well, where's my son, teacher? This is the same fucking bullshit conversation we had for days and weeks about that $8,000 you took from me. And I said, where's the money? Where's the money? And then 2 weeks later, oh, I took it. I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. It's the same shit we're doing again.
Honey, you dumbass.
Yeah, I am a dumbass, but it's the same fucking conversation. Where's my son, Tisha?
Quincy has it. Quincy, do you know him? Fucking go find him.
Apparently you do because he's got something against you. Okay? Yeah.
You to talk to me to help me.
Hey, guess what? I'm calling bullshit. I just Googled that shit, and that's a fucking mugshot like I find Mike Hyatt on. Mugshot. Way to go, Tisha. You found Quincy Brown on a mugshot. God damn it. This is just getting better and better and better.
It's a mugshot because he's probably been in jail before, you dumbass.
Yeah. So he just picked you out of the blue because you just happened to be in Douglas County up there, and he was laying in the street. And Quincy said, oh, wow, that looks like an easy target. I'm going to steal her son and rape her and go all the way to freaking wherever. And then how did he leave? Nobody saw him leave. What the fuck are you talking about?
At night, you dumbass.
Oh, that's right, because he was there till midnight while the neighborhood search party was going on. Come on, Tisha.
The neighborhood search party was not even going on at that time.
Okay, guess what? I know that's false. I searched all through the night, Tisha, while you were sitting your ass in the house. You were sitting in the house, sending Harley and Lane out to look for him. The search party, the fucking neighborhood was out, and Quincy Brown was out there, and nobody saw him. I tell you what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to figure out what you're going to do when they find Gannon. Because that's what you need to worry about.
When they find Gannon.
When they find Gannon,
Really?
no matter what's happened to the boy or where he's at, when they find him, you better get to stepping because you got to worry about what's going to happen. Okay?
Really?
Yeah.
That's a threat? Because,
No, I'm telling you about the police.
okay. If that's how you want to take it then, and you don't want any help, then
Yeah,
fine.
because we're going to find him. And how the hell would you know they're barking up the wrong tree? You keep saying they're looking in the wrong place.
You don't ask me. I'm in the wrong tree.
But that doesn't make any sense. They're looking where you supposedly told them Quincy Brown got in the truck at. What the fuck, Tisha? That's the exact tree they're looking at.
I said me. I was talking about me.
Yeah, but you keep saying no. That's not true. You said
There. He hasn't.
you told me yesterday they're looking at Palmer Lake and Douglas County and all these fields and they're barking up the wrong tree. That's what you told me, not anybody else.
You dumbass. He hasn't in Colorado Springs.
Where at? How do you know where he's at if you don't know Quincy Brown? If you're not involved, if you don't know what's going on,
Not involved.
you just fucking told on yourself. You just told on yourself. You know where Gannon's at and you're fucking lying.
I don't know where Gannon's at.
You just said he's in Colorado Springs.
I said Quincy Brown lives in Colorado Springs, apparently.
Now you're fucking twisting the words again, Tisha. Okay, where's Gannon?
I don't have Gannon. You can curse me out, call me whatever you want, fuck all the bitches you want, do whatever you want, because I don't care about you.
Good. I don't want you to. You got my son, and you know where he's at, and I need to find my son. You obviously don't care about my son if you're going to do all the things you did in that fucking candle video. That was bullshit. That's the same shit you tried to do to me, and you did it to my son. That was horrible. You should go to jail just for that shit, Tisha.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fucking abuse, and you know it. Had that little boy. No, you had him crying when all he thought he had made was an accident, and you had him thinking he was going to have to sell his Switch and his toys, On the fucking video you put out there. I didn't see that. You put it out there. That's your fucking abuse.
Didn't think he was going to sell his Switch?
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
or what, well, that was where it was going. The couch or we got to sell this or that. I heard your words, and
Couch was messed up. I was telling you,
I heard you make him cry too. Where's my son?
crying.
Where's my son? Where is he, Tisha? Why are you pausing?
You don't care where he's at. So it don't matter.
I do care. I told you where I think he's at. You told me he wasn't there. You said they're barking up the wrong tree, and then you said he is in Colorado Springs. You said that. Not me, not the police, not nobody else. You said it. That's why you said they're barking up the wrong tree, because you know where he's at. And you need to tell me.
I wish I did.
You're a fucking liar. Tell me where he's at.
I wish I did so that I bring him to you and say to you, oh, you really were a supportive person.
You listen. This is the same shit that we've been going through for 5 years, and I've supported you
That's all
through
you
it.
ever want to do is talk about me and Albert.
No, I want you. I want my son. Fuck all that other shit. I want my son. Who cares about the past 5 years? You're right. Who gives a fuck?
To you right now, and I had absolutely nothing to do with it. You'd still fucking try to blame it on me.
But Tisha, that's just not an option. You've lied to me. Okay, well, I'm not blaming you, but you've lied to me. That's unacceptable. Okay, the truth is, I need my son, and you have information.
I'm sorry that I didn't want to get killed. Okay, I'm sorry.
So you didn't want to get killed, so you let him take Gannon? All right,
I'm
what?
talking about by talking from the beginning.
But you were talking from the beginning. You did an interview from day one. Okay, so no.
I didn't want to get killed. I didn't want everyone I knew to get killed. If I
Some fucking random Quincy Brown. Okay, come on. Some Quincy Brown from mugshots is gonna kill us all.
Have you looked him up?
Yeah, he's on fucking mugshots right there on Google. All you gotta do is Google or Siri, show me Quincy Brown, and there he is. Bam, right in front of you. Okay. What the fuck, teacher?
Okay.
Just like I found all that shit on Mike Hyatt. All I had to do was Google Mike Hyatt, and there it was, right in front of me. I didn't have to do no search. It was right there. Because I'm telling you, I'm not fucking stupid. That's what I'm telling you.
If you want to be don't go after all options, then you must be fucking stupid.
Yeah, I'm stupid to let you send me in 27 different directions. You're right. That's stupid. You're absolutely right. I know that you know where Gannon is, and that's the direction I'm going, and I'm not changing. So you better buckle in. This is going to be it.
You'll be waiting a long time because I don't have him.
I didn't say you had him, Tisha. See, that's where you keep twisting your words. I didn't say you had him. I said, tell me where he is.
Where Cannon's at?
Oh, okay.
Damn time.
Okay.
Because I don't have him. And I don't know where he's at. I do that every day.
But you just said he's in Colorado Springs, so make your mind up.
The Quincy guy
So,
at me, what about be a man, be a husband, and freaking go there and say, hey, listen, can we detain this Quincy guy and ask him some questions?
yeah, fine, we'll do that. But my manhood's not in question here. The truth is in question here. Okay? You say Quincy Brown is in Colorado Springs, and you say Quincy Brown has Gannon because he's messaging you and wants a reward. Okay? So if you put
Message me. I said he wants messages.
that's a message.
You
Okay,
said
okay.
messages.
I'm not gonna split hairs with you about stupid shit now. He got word to you somehow. He said something to you somehow. Okay, but you told me he has him. He's let you know he had him, and he's in Colorado Springs, and he wants money. Okay, but then you say I don't know where Gannon's at. Which one is it?
He says he has Gannon.
He says he has Gannon, and he's in Colorado Springs.
But I would even be willing to put my life on the line to freaking go out and carry to wherever the meat's going to be, knowing that somebody might shoot me.
All right, listen, I'm about to end my rope here. Okay, you're fucking lying, and I'm done with it. Okay.
Okay.
You haven't even told me where you're at. I mean, there's so many freaking lies. You say help me protect me. God damn it, you're not in Colorado Springs, Tisha. Send me your location right now. Then send me your location right now. Quit fucking playing. Send it to me on my phone. Take a pic.
So you want me to send you my location?
I've offered.
Share your family.
Yeah.
You'll be doing.
Yep. All right, listen. Obviously, this gap between us ain't getting no closer because you won't tell me where my son is. So I'm done. You got anything else to say before I hang up on you? Good. Don't email me. Don't call me. Don't message me. Don't use my name in the media. Don't say shit about me until you tell me where my son is.
Mr. Allen? Mr. Stauch, if you'd resume your seat in the witness stand, I remind you, sir, that you're still under oath.
Mr. Stauch, in that particular phone call, you made a comment about the candle incident and that the defendant was doing the same thing to Gannon that she did to you. What were you talking about there?
Manipulation.
Meaning the defendant manipulating situations?
The defendant manipulating situations, as I witnessed in that video, her doing to Gannon.
There was, sounds like potentially the defendant sent you a text message to tell you who this Quincy Brown was. Did that happen? In that phone
During
call?
that phone call, yes, sir.
Did you then do a Google search for Quincy Brown?
I believe I did on the spot, yes, sir.
And what did you find when you Googled Quincy Brown?
Exactly what I referenced. I call it mugshots, but like, lineup.com or mugshots.com, whatever it was specifically, but his face next to a bunch of other people that have been arrested.
Was that essentially a sex offender that was wanted in the Colorado Springs area?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever have any independent knowledge that Quincy Brown was somehow involved in Gannon's disappearance?
No, sir.
You asked the defendant in there, or actually the defendant, I'm sorry, said that she was in Colorado Springs. Did you know where she was at that time?
No, sir.
Did you think she was in Colorado Springs?
No, sir.
And then similar to the other calls, her personality that she was using in that phone call, was it consistent with the way you know her?
Absolutely.
Did she ever change into a different personality?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to, Your Honor, People's Exhibit 40, which is another recorded phone call, February 14th, 2020, 1:21 p.m.
All right, Mr. Stauch, you can go ahead and step down. Thank you, sir.
And this is just short of 16 minutes, Judge.
Okay.
Got my peanut butter sandwich.
I ate mine too. Hello?
Are you still alone?
What?
Are you still alone?
Yes. Okay, here, you asked for one more chance. Here it is. I'm going to shut up. You just say what you got to say. I ain't going to say shit. It's your chance.
What's that noise?
That's my water bottle.
Do you love me?
Yes.
Oh. All right. If you know it's an accident, are you going to stand by me?
Yes, absolutely, Tisha. I've told you that from day one.
I'm sorry for all the stories. I just didn't know what to do. So we were going to get your bike. I was letting get it right. It was really big, so I got pink. You fell off of it. You got hurt bad. You there's a bunch of like heels and stuff.
What? I didn't hear you. What?
I said when he fell, he got hurt because there was like concrete and heels and stuff. The guy was helping him ride the bike.
Tisha, babe, what? How bad did he get hurt?
He was bleeding.
Where was he bleeding from?
His arms, his knees, his hands.
So his head was bleeding? And this, oh, God.
He promised me he was going to go back to his house and get some bandages and call 911 because we had accidentally left him all in Petco. I swear to God, Quincy's real.
So what happened, baby?
I didn't know the car. I was supposed to call 911. I was supposed to be taking him back and I called 911.
So the guy took him to take him to 911?
I swear to God, his name's Quincy. That's the guy was supposed to be meeting again.
The Craigslist guy?
Yeah.
And you met him where? Like up in wherever that
Those messages. My actual phone was why she could. I was scared he didn't come back with it.
so keep going. I'm sorry.
I thought if I was like, I'll go back and I'll just go keep searching. And I did. I spent the whole night driving down to find him.
In my truck?
Sure, I'm sorry for these stories. I just didn't want to explain why you hate me.
Why would I hate you if it wasn't your fault?
Because I couldn't get to him. And he was bleeding from his head. It was an accident.
Okay. So start over. Because this is really hard to hear. Okay. But so you left Petco.
You won't talk to me like that. Where you going to go down this road and chastise me and tell
I'm not. You're telling me the truth now. Okay, and I believe you now because thank you for telling me the truth. This means the world to me. And where was this at? Like what exit? You mentioned the exit yesterday. What exit was this at?
It was like 163. I don't know. It's on my phone.
Okay, so if you can reach out to them and then give you your phone, then they can find it, right? Can you think of a landmark? Just like help me find him, babe. Just help me, because I can go search. I can go right now and search.
That's the only reason I asked for immunity because I didn't feel an accident and I wasn't trying to cover up anything. I was trying to figure out why he took him. If I said something like he's going to hurt us in the house or something, I'm not. They would start looking for him.
When the guy,
I wanted to try to bike out and he needed help because the bike was too big. And you want to know why I've been gone? Why my car's been in that direction? I've been driving up and down there all the time until they took my car. Driving to do anything I can find, anything. And driving to find this dude. I even called into the police department and they were like, yeah, because he's wanted. If you know where he's at, let me know. So nobody tried to help me. Because before I would do anything, I made him show me his ID. Because I was making sure. Just wanted to get rid of bike today, that's all.
so Tisha, hold on. You went to his house, or where did you meet this guy at? Quincy Brown or whatever. Because if you went to his house, they can absolutely.
Please.
I'm listening.
I need to tell you.
Okay.
He said to me that he would be off that exit. When I turn off the exit, you can look.
Okay.
I turned off the exit left because I thought that was the direction, but he thought I was coming from south, coming from north. So I turned on right and went towards the other direction, and I didn't see anyone with a bike in a store.
Okay. So there was a store?
He said there was a store. I said I didn't see anyone with a bike in the store.
Oh.
So I went the other direction.
I got you.
When I went the other direction, I see him with the bike. And I said, hey, there's the guy with the bike. And I made him show me his ID. And legit, we talked with some kind of biking. And this was a tour bike. And I got a little nervous because I said, why would he have some tour bike and he's trying to sell it? You know, like, I was asking him questions like, did you not ride anymore? Did you get hurt? You know, like these stories I was asking him. Then I realized I didn't have the phone because I had left it at Petco. So then, Gannon was like high-fiving him and talking to him and stuff like that. So I assumed, you know, nice guy. Until he was taking Gannon, just helping him get on the bike to ride it. I was holding on to it just so I could see, and he was like, "Do you think your daddy will like this fight?" Then the next thing you know, whenever they like both slid, he slid with Gannon in the bike, and Gannon like went, like not necessarily tumbling, but sliding down, and he hit his head, and I ran over there. I was just crying out because I don't want to have my phone. He was like, "I live right up here. I live right up here. I'm gonna take him, and we'll go." I'm just still sitting there crying and crying. They got to see me get off the exit. That's why I've been adamant about you finding us new.
All right, so so you got off exit 163?
Nope, it was whatever county line or some shit like that was
Oh,
called.
that County Line Road or whatever we always take. It was on that road?
Now you had to turn off of that road. I went the wrong way to start with, so I turned right. Because he thought I was coming from that direction, and I was supposed to turn right.
But this was the exit off 25 that you turned the wrong way, or off of County Line Road?
Off of 25, you can get off and go both directions.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to narrow it down so I can go look, but So was there anything else besides you said he scraped his knees, he scraped his elbows, he busted his head, and he had the burns on his arms.
Well, there was some bad burns, Albert. The burns were just little bubbles from the fire. That had nothing to do with it. Now maybe it could have like scraped them open some because he already had them, but Gannon was fine. He was talking to me. He wasn't complaining on any kind of pain. I would have took him straight to the doctor if the burns would have had any kind of pain to him.
Okay.
That's the only reason I didn't ask you for any kind of immunity because I committed some kind of crimes. I just know that it was an accident. All I did was someone was trying to help me, and then I didn't know where he went from there.
What? So, the one I'm worried the most about is the freaking head wound because where was he? How bad was he bleeding?
It's pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. Like it was. Tell me bad. Is bad like blood's dripping down his face, or bad like or did you do anything to wrap around his head or anything?
Yes, my clothes I had on had blood on them.
The clothes you had on?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Like, oh my god, we gotta call 911.
was this on the road or was this at the station? Like where?
Show you to explain where. I don't know my way around Colorado.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out if there's blood on the road. Maybe we can find blood on the road or something. That's all I was saying.
Searching.
Okay.
Somewhere.
I agree. I agree they should find it. So where on his head? Like was it the side or back of his head? What?
I don't know. I was panicked.
Okay, so you were panicking. So an accident happened and you panicked, right?
I was panicking.
Okay,
I didn't have a phone.
right. And did he have a phone?
He said he would run back to his house. He had Gannon. Said he'd run back to his house, wrap it up tight, and he would call 911.
Okay,
Gannon was talking.
okay. So he took Gannon to his house is what he told you, right? And you did you stay where you were? Did you follow him or what? Babe.
Mr. Allen?
Your Honor, we would just have Mr. Stauch come back to the stand.
Mr. Stauch, if you'd resume your seat in the witness stand, I remind you, sir, that you're still under oath.
Judge, I'm not sure if I said it, but that was actually exhibit number 40 that we played, which was that February 14th.
Thank you.
Yep. Mr. Stauch, in this particular phone call, you hear the defendant sounding potentially like crying. Did that sound like legitimate crying to you?
It did to me.
You made a comment that you're telling me the truth now. Was that an honest statement to you or from you, or was this you trying to get her to just keep talking?
Yeah, more of a tactic to keep her going.
As you're talking to the defendant in that particular phone call, was her personality consistent with the way you knew her personality?
Yes, sir.
Did she change it to any different personalities during that phone call?
No, sir.
Is this the first time in this phone call that the defendant gives you any indication that Gannon suffered a head injury?
Yes, this is the first indication of his head injury. Yes, sir.
And then in conjunction with other injuries that she mentioned, and that was burns to his arms that bubbled, and then also bleeding from his butt very early on.
Yes, sir.
In that phone call, do you remember when the defendant describes having blood on her clothes and using her clothing to stop the bleeding on Gannon's head?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever see anything that corroborated that version of the story, such as any clothes with bloodstains on them when you got home from Oklahoma?
I did not. No, sir.
Okay. May I approach with People's Exhibit 49?
You may go ahead.
Mr. Stauch, I'm showing you People's Exhibit. You can split through that and let me know.
Okay, I'm finished.
Do you recognize what is marked as People's Exhibit 49?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
It's a book full of text messages between myself and the defendant.
Is the date range for this particular group of text messages basically February 29th through March 1st of 2020? If you look at the timestamps on them?
Yes, it is.
Are those fair and accurate representations of the text messages that she sent, or at least came from her phone and that you responded with?
Yes, sir.
All right, I move for admission of People's Exhibit 49.
Defense, Exhibit 49 will be admitted. Go ahead.
May I approach the witness with People's Exhibit 206?
Yes.
Judge, for the record, as Mr. Stauch first, before I start that, flip through that and then let me know when you're done. And Judge, what we're doing with this particular exhibit is just pre-qualification. His portion of these text messages, we'll actually admit this later through a different witness.
Okay.
Do you recognize that item?
Yes, sir.
What do you recognize that as?
It's communications between myself and Harley's phone.
Harley Hunt?
Harley Hunt.
Okay.
Between her phone.
And what I'm asking you specifically for your portion of this exhibit, the text messages that came from you or from your phone, do those appear to be fair and accurate representations of your communications?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. May I retrieve that?
Yes.
Mr. Stauch, how much time did you spend with this defendant? Just total time from the start of your relationship until all of this happened?
Like we mentioned yesterday, we started dating in early 2014, so roughly 6 years.
During that time, did you spend a lot of in-person time with her?
Absolutely.
Did that give you an opportunity to observe her mental condition?
Yes, sir.
Besides just, we all have different weird idiosyncrasies. Did you ever see anything that went beyond just our own individual personality traits in the defendant?
No, sir.
Did you ever see an opportunity or have an opportunity to observe the defendant, whether she could understand the difference between right and wrong?
Absolutely.
Can you tell the jury about that?
Obviously, throughout our relationship, I think to some moments immediately preceding January 27th. I mean, she took the kids to, the defendant took the kids on a hike. She made it there safely. Kids made it home safely. Obviously didn't, from my knowledge, didn't get a ticket, so obeyed all of the traffic laws on the way there and the way back. Even that morning of the 27th, we talked about Gannon and the switch, as we've seen with some text messages. Some right and wrong issues there about how we disciplined him with the taking the switch away for whatever his offense was in that moment. And I communicated with the defendant about that punishment specifically and how to manage that. After the The events of the 27th, I just think too how much the defendant, pressed me about what was right in our relationship, how I should take her side and what was right and wrong and how I was managing that whole piece of it. Something that stands out more than anything is, as the defendant said to me in one of these phone calls, I think one we heard yesterday, that she didn't allow Lena back in the house when Lena got home from school. I don't know any reason why she would have not allowed Lena back in the house. Other than, I don't know, there's something going on that she didn't want Lena to see. If there was nothing going on in that house, why could Lena not have come in the house that day when she got home from school?
Okay, and we're going to get more into that in just a minute, but I appreciate you bringing that up. You lived with her in South Carolina, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you need a cup of water or anything?
I'm okay.
Okay. You lived with the defendant in South Carolina, Colorado, also spent time with her in Alaska.
Yes, sir.
Did the defendant follow the laws in all of those places?
Yes, sir.
You went on trips. You mentioned that yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Who would typically plan the trips?
She would plan and organize just about every trip or vacation we went on, and she was very good at it and was able to get us to, the port on time for cruises, to the terminal on time for plane trips, and organize rental cars. We always get it there and back on time. I mean, always, exactly what we needed to do.
So
time-wise.
she was able to set up an itinerary and then follow the itinerary
Yes, sir.
with no troubles.
Never.
You mentioned, the discipline with the switch, Gannon's gaming system.
Yes, sir.
Was it very typical for her to be engaged with disciplining the kids, both Gannon, Lena, and even Harley if she needed it?
Yes, sir.
Can you give the jury some examples of that beyond just the switch?
Well, that was just our typical source of punishment, was to take away iPad or Switch or TV time if they didn't follow the rules or didn't do chores as was prescribed to them. She was also had a very, very meticulous about the kids' schedule. Hey, when you get home, this is the right thing to do. You come home, come in the house, have your snack, do your homework, and there was, not rewards necessarily, but repercussions if they didn't follow that prescribed schedule for them on a daily basis.
What about during the time frame so if we're going to narrow the scope of what we're talking about here, Mr. Stauch, the time frame as we get to January 2020, and especially that Saturday night when you left up to DIA, did you ever have any concerns that she was having this crack in her mental health?
No, sir.
What would you have done if you had observed some major crack in her mental health?
I would not have gone on that trip. I did have the flexibility to cancel my training and move it to another time if need be. I would not have left the house and not left the kids there if I had any concerns or she showed signs of a mental crack approaching.
And at any time during your relationship with the defendant, did you ever see her have some major crack in her mental health condition?
No, sir.
Did you know her to have any severe mental illnesses?
No, sir.
I want to ask you what you just got into a little bit ago, and that is in relation to January 27th. Was there a period of time in the afternoon of that day when you were trying to get a hold of the defendant?
Yes, sir.
How were you trying to get a hold of her?
I remember making a phone call or two. I don't remember how many specifically, but that was just not answered.
And also text messages?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever get an answer during that window of time from mid-afternoon of the 27th?
I don't remember specifically when. I know at some point in that afternoon, we had a conversation about I wanted some new headphones, and we talked about what an appropriate price range would be and where is a good place for me to go look, whether I was on base or at the PX or the Apple store or whatever. So once again, another conversation about what is right, wrong, appropriate. But I don't remember specifically when that happened. I just remember it was that afternoon after I got out of class.
When you look back on it now, does that seem significant to you?
It was as soon as all this started happening, that was a very significant moment.
Does that coincide with your understanding of what you just described, that the defendant would not let Lena in the house after getting home from school? Is that the same time frame?
Is the same. I don't know exactly when that conversation happened. I'd have to see a timestamp on that.
Okay.
But generally in the same time frame, Monday afternoon, January 27th, 2020.
Okay. May I have just a moment?
You may.
So, Mr. Stauch, the last thing I wanted to say for you was, what is your opinion as to the defendant's sanity at the time of this event and just generally speaking?
I believe is and was 100% absolutely sane based on all the things that I witnessed and I've laid out. I have no other indication for anything else.
And when you say it that way, are you talking about in the totality of your relationship?
From the time I met her till even today.
Okay. And then very specifically to when you left on January 26th, January 25th, you left the house on that Saturday. What is your opinion as to her sanity on January 25th?
100% sane.
What about January 26th
Same thing, 100% sane.
and January 27th when Gannon went missing?
Sane.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Cross-examination, Mr. Tellini. Record should reflect the jury has returned to the courtroom. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. When we took our break this morning, we had finished the direct examination of Mr. Stauch. At this point in time, the defense has an opportunity to cross-examine Mr. Stauch, and that's where we will begin. Mr. Tellini.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stauch.
Silly.
I know this is emotional and difficult, so I'm going to try to keep my questions somewhat brief. If at any time you don't understand any of my questions, just ask me to repeat them. A lot of my questions will be kind of yes or no answers. And if there's anything that you think you need to elaborate on, once I'm done, Mr. Allen's going to be able to get up and ask you what's called redirect. And so be able to do anything that you think needs to be added on or clarified. Mr. Allen will have the opportunity to do that. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to kind of go back. I'm going to do this somewhat chronologically. I'm going to go back to 2014 when you first met Ms. Stauch. And at that point in time, you were going through a divorce, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that it had kind of been initiated but not finalized legally?
I mean, in South Carolina, there's a 1 year waiting period.
Yeah.
In a no fault type divorce situation. And we were in that period. So,
Okay,
yes, sir.
so you guys, physically, you guys had been separated, but you're waiting for the legality of the divorce to conclude?
Yeah, the final date of the divorce.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And were you in the military at that point in time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also one of the things that you did for enjoyment and recreation is you played softball.
Yes, sir.
How many teams did you play on?
I couldn't even give you a number. We played year round.
Okay.
Myself and Landon and the defendant, co-ed, men's, women's league, whatever. We played year round pretty much.
And that's when you first met Ms. Stauch?
Yes, on that fall 2013 team is the first time I ever remember having interactions with her.
And she was a pretty good softball player?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, later on, when you guys moved here, she ended up actually helping coach out the Whitefield softball team.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then in the spring, summer 2014, the relationship progressed to a romantic relationship?
Yes, sir.
And at that point in time, you were kind of more or less living by yourself.
Well, as I explained yesterday, I still owned my house. I
Yeah.
call it the marital residence with Landon, and which sold in the August timeframe.
Okay.
So I was we had every other week custody arrangement with Miss Hyatt or with Landon at that point. So I was in my house 1 week at a time.
And then after you moved from your house, then Landon kind of was the primary caretaker, custodian of Gannon and Lena, correct?
She had the majority of the parenting time in the custody arrangement. Yes, sir.
Okay. And then they would come with you guys for, a weekend here, a weekend. Was it every weekend or every other weekend or?
I got them, if I remember correctly, I got them every Wednesday night and then every other weekend would be
Okay.
my parenting time. And I usually picked them up from school, dropped them off back at school the next day or whatever.
Sure. And you guys were all living, this is all in Myrtle Beach, correct?
In that general area, Landon was a little bit outside of Myrtle Beach, but yeah, we were all in that general area.
Okay. And I think you described, yesterday, especially, at the beginning, the relationship was fun, fresh, and it was a good time. And it was, that'd be correct?
Yes, sir.
And it seemed it progressed pretty quickly.
Yes, sir.
And then, so you start dating kind of in 2014, and then by 2015, you guys had moved in together.
Yeah, we got married in January 2015.
Okay. So move pretty quickly. And then at some point in time, you ended up filing for you to be the primary custodian parent of Gannon and Lena.
Yes, sir.
And you did that because you had some safety concerns.
Just some reservations about different things Landon was doing. And so I took it to the courts. Yes, sir.
I mean, you had some concerns that there was criminal activity going on in her house.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you had some concerns about drug use going on in the house.
Yes, sir.
As it relates to the relationship.
And I'll bring it there.
I think I see where it's going, overruled.
And you had some concerns about, is it Mike Hyatt or Hoyt?
Hyatt.
And that was the person who you're just referencing in those phone calls, correct?
Yes, sir.
That you looked up and you'd seen his mugshots and so forth.
Yes, sir.
And that's who Landon was living with at that point in time.
Who was living with?
With Landon, that's who Landon was living with.
Landon, as far as I know, yes, sir.
Okay. And you thought it would be, because of those safety concerns, you wanted Gannon and Lena to come live with you and Miss Stauch.
Yes, sir.
Because you thought that would be a safer environment for your two children.
Yes, sir.
And when you filed for custody, it wasn't just custody for you, but also Miss Stauch was given custody as well.
When I filed for it, or when I filed for it, it was between me and Landon.
Okay.
So that's just to clarify.
Okay, but then she was eventually legally granted custody.
There was an arrangement where the kids in 2018, in the fall semester of 2018, we owned a house in Myrtle Beach, as I referenced yesterday. Because the defendant did not want to permanently move to Alaska, we kept that other residence as well. And the kids did stay there with the defendant for a few, most of that first semester, or that fall semester.
So for the entire fall semester while you were in Alaska, Ms. Stauch was a primary caregiver and custodian of the two kids.
In Myrtle Beach, yes, sir.
Myrtle Beach, yes. And part of that also was so they could also be in, proximity with their mother as well.
Yeah, it's more complicated than the defendant just got custody of the kids. There's
No.
also
A lot of factors.
yes,
were
a lot of
involved.
variables there. Yes, sir.
Okay. But you felt comfortable and you felt that was a safer environment for them to be with Ms. Stauch as opposed to being with Landon
At the time, yes, sir.
at that point in time, based upon your dealing with her, based upon what you knew of her, and based upon what you knew was going on with Landon.
Yes, sir.
And also, right at that point in time, when this kind of custody, shifted between from Landon to you and Ms. Stauch, that's initially when you enrolled Gannon in counseling.
No, sir. That would have been after we moved to Colorado. As I testified yesterday, January of 2019 is when that began. Or, well, I didn't get here until February. So in that late winter, early spring portion of 2019. So you're talking 3 to 6 months later.
Second. Do you remember kind of that back in January of 2020, January 28th or 29th, you sat down, you had an interview with Detective Mark Riley?
Yes.
Do you remember telling Detective Riley, as soon as me and my ex split up, got divorced, and I got custody, I started taking them to counseling?
I don't remember saying that. If you have a
Are you
transcript
looking
or something I can look at.
4702? You're aware that, you've had a lot of interactions with Mr. Allen, correct?
Yes.
And you're aware that a lot of the interviews that the El Paso County Sheriffs, as well as many of these phone calls that they made transcripts of,
Yes, sir.
when
Absolutely.
looking at that transcript, refresh your recollection.
Absolutely.
If I may approach, you may. Does that refresh your recollection?
I mean, if that's a transcript of it, then yes, that's what I said.
So that indicates to you that you told the detective back then that you got Gannon in counseling right after the custody split, and you did that primarily because of the custody issue.
Yeah, and I don't know why I said that specifically, but the Dr. Burtek I referenced in this, that did not begin until, as I already stated, late winter, early spring 2019.
Okay.
So-
So approach.
Sure.
You may. Yes. And I think it's fair to say that it was initially the plan that Ms. Stauch was going to come and bring all the kids to Alaska and you guys were going to live in Alaska. That was the initial plan. When you went to Alaska,
Once I got stationed there,
that they were all going to come
I
up.
think it's safe to assume that, yes.
Okay. And she'd come up to visit you, a couple times up there.
Yeah, for short periods of time, she did.
And it's fair to say she didn't like Alaska.
She did not like Alaska.
And part of that, she's from South Carolina. Right.
Yes.
And
No, she's from North Carolina.
you're right. She's from Lumberton, North Carolina, but she lived a lot in South Carolina.
Yes.
She liked the beach. She liked the sun. She liked the weather.
Yes.
She liked activities. Alaska was a little barren, a little depressing at night.
You're asking me to testify about how she felt about everything. I'm going to stay away from that, Mr.
All
Kennedy.
right. That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah.
Very fair. Regardless, she never ended up going to Alaska.
Permanently, no. She did come to visit, as I already testified to.
And how long were you in Alaska again?
Just shy of 2 years.
And did Gannon and Lena ever move to Alaska?
So initially, I got custody in March of 2018.
Okay.
They immediately came with me to Alaska. Finished out the school year. I don't specifically remember what we did over the summer.
Okay.
And this is 2018. In the beginning of the fall is when the custody arrangement with the children, with the defendant in the Myrtle Beach household.
Okay.
That's when that began, in that fall school year, 2018.
So the fall school year of 2018, she was the person primarily responsible
Yes, sir.
for both Lena and Gannon.
In the Myrtle Beach household, yes, sir.
Okay. And you felt safe with that?
Yes, sir.
And overall, at least what you observed, it appeared, that she had a fairly good relationship with Gannon, Ms. Stauch did.
From what I observed, yes, sir.
I think you've indicated in some of these prior interviews that she appeared to care for him and he loved her.
Yeah, absolutely. I testified to that yesterday. I felt like he had some love and trust in his, had some love in his heart, and he definitely had trust for her.
And you remember, was it in Mother's Day of 2018, you actually did a Mother's Day card for Ms. Stauch?
I don't remember that specifically, unless you had a picture or something.
I do,
of
if I
it.
may approach.
You may.
Approach with what's been marked as Defense Exhibit B.
B is in Bravo.
B is in Bravo.
Yes, thank you.
Does that look familiar to you?
I've seen this picture before, yes.
Okay, and that was written by Gannon to Ms. Stauch.
I cannot attest to who was written by. I was shown this picture by the defendant. Yes, sir.
Okay, does that appear to be Gannon's handwriting?
It's similar to his handwriting. Yes, sir. I don't have anything else to compare it to right now, and I haven't seen his handwriting in 3 years, Mr. Tellini.
Okay,
So-
so, if I may approach. Go, then move forward a little bit to the January of 2017. You left on that Saturday? I mean, January 2020, January 2020. You left on that Saturday, correct?
Saturday night, yes, sir, after work.
And your mom had been there for a while?
Roughly a week or so. I don't remember specifically.
What did your mom do for a living?
She is a nurse practitioner in the mental health field.
Okay. Had you had conversations with your mom about Ms. Stauch and her mental health?
Yes.
And you'd raised some concerns with your mom about Ms. Stauch's mental health?
Yes.
And your mom thought she needed to be on medication?
I don't remember that specifically. So
Okay. You had some you left Saturday, slept most of it. You got in early Sunday morning into Oklahoma?
yes. No, it was Sunday afternoon by the time I got there.
Okay.
Because remember when I got off the plane, the defendant shared the news about Kobe Bryant passing
Oh,
away.
that's right.
So it was in the afternoon some point.
She a big Kobe Bryant fan?
I don't remember. I mean, I think so. I don't remember that sticking out more. Derek Jeter was her, and the Yankees was the defendant's super fan.
But so you had fairly decent communication with her for most of Sunday?
I believe so, yeah.
Nothing seemed out of the ordinary?
Nothing out of the ordinary Sunday.
She let you know that she took Gannon and Lena on a hike in Garden of the Gods?
I believe so. I believe we talked about that. Yes, sir.
And she actually posted a photo of that on Instagram.
I don't know where she posted that photo, Mr. Tellini.
Remember talking again with Detective Riley?
At this point?
Yeah, sorry. She posted, after this, you talked to Detective Riley.
I didn't even know Detective Riley existed until I got back home and Gannon was already allegedly missing.
So sometimes, like, if you're saying you don't remember stuff, then I'm going to re-reference your interview with Detective Riley and then showed you a transcript where you talked about whatever I'm talking about to Detective Riley.
Okay, so
Just for procedure. So you know what, when I'm jumping back to that's why I'm doing that.
I understand. I just don't understand your question.
Okay.
We were on Sunday talking about Kobe Bryant, and then you jumped to, do you remember talking to Detective Riley again? So could you clarify, please?
Absolutely. And thank you, because when I said if I ask a bad question, thank you for letting me clarify. You had told Detective Riley that she had posted that photo on her Instagram.
Okay.
Okay.
If I said that and you have a transcript of it, then I'm not up here to deny
Would
it.
you-
No, sir.
Would you recognize that photo?
If you showed it to me, I'm more than likely.
Portion what's been marked as Defense Exhibit A?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I recognize that photo.
Okay. And that was a photo that she posted that Sunday on her Instagram of her hike.
If you're telling me that, then yes. I don't see anything on here indicating Instagram and the date timestamp, but I have no reason to deny that. So
Your Honor, move for admission of Defense Exhibit A. Mr. Allen?
I guess I have no objection if it's just to show.
That limited purpose.
That is the admitted purpose.
Okay, I'll allow it for that limited purpose.
She also indicated that he was,
would you like this back, Mr. Flynn?
we can, here, thank
I
you.
don't want to sit right in front of me.
Absolutely. She indicated to you that he was having some stomach problems,
Yes, sir.
and that wasn't unusual. Sometimes he would have stomach.
That was common.
Sure. She indicated to you that she was going to keep him home from school on Monday.
Yes, sir.
And at the point in time when she said that, that seemed somewhat normal to you.
Keeping him home from school didn't seem normal, but the fact that he had a stomach issue and if it was to the point of, embarrassment or whatever, then that was absolutely acceptable.
Okay. And part of it, he would worry about incontinence at school. Like he was worried about having an accident at school. That was a worry that he had.
At that point, I don't believe that was a worry of his. He typically was able to manage it well and then deal with it at home. I mean, he was 11 years old at that point, so.
And you commented to Detective Riley. Then Monday she kept him home because it didn't, we got to give him some medicine to help clean him out till he gets past that point.
And that was a common practice.
Okay.
Yes,
So he would get blocked up and you give him Miralax to get everything out and then he would be okay.
yes, sir.
Okay. She had also let you know about the candle in the carpet that night on Sunday night.
Sunday, January 26th.
Yes.
I believe that's when that conversation happened. Yes, sir.
Okay. And Gannon was concerned. He was worried that he was going to get grounded for a year.
All of that came from the defendant. I never spoke to Gannon about his grounding. I received messages from his phone about it, but I never spoke to him directly about that at that point.
Okay. And that Monday comes and you don't have, there's some communication, but maybe not as much as normal. And then you get notified that Gannon hasn't come home.
Right.
And I imagine at some point, that sends you, into a panic.
Well, I mean, to be clear, I was in military school and training.
Sure.
So when you say not normal, it was actually normal for what I was doing at the time.
Okay. I mean, I'm saying when Gannon doesn't come home and it's getting to the point where it's at much later than would be normally for him to come home, even being out late. You start getting very nervous.
Absolutely. Because my son's not home as he should be.
No, absolutely. And then the next morning you got on a flight and you got back as quick as you can.
Absolutely.
And when you get back, initially, there's some things that seem weird about some things that don't add up about what Ms. Stauch is telling you. But initially you think that you guys are all on the same page trying to find Gannon.
What things are you referencing?
The rental car.
Her getting a rental car?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seemed odd.
That seemed odd, but nothing that you're not suspecting her of anything at that point in time. It just seems weird that she's picking you up in a rental car.
Yeah, her picking me up in a rental car was absolutely weird. Yes, sir.
And you have some interviews, again, with some different law enforcement and so forth.
What specific interviews are you referencing?
You had a couple different ones. I think the first one, I believe it was at Starbucks, but it was with Detective Bethel.
There was a few, Detective Riley, Detective Bethel, and I think one other representative was there at Starbucks with myself and the defendant. Yes, sir.
And you're trying to figure out anything, where again can be if somebody would have taken him, anything like that, and you're talking to them.
I'm doing whatever I can for my son at that point, all during that time frame. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And at some point in time, you even had thought maybe like it could be Layden or it could be Mike involved.
I don't remember ever having the thought that Landon was involved in any way. She, regardless of opinions about her, she loved her children. Mike Hyatt, I have no comment on that. I don't think I ever suspected that either.
Do you remember telling Detective Bethel, the mom's married to a guy that's got a lot of trouble with the law? And that was one of my first instincts, was like when the come and go came up and they said that he would walk all nonchalant and everything was normal, like the dude was here or something, because he's got a lot of trouble in his background. So like it came to my mind. It was worth putting down. I don't know if anything is legit.
And that's exactly what I said. It came to my mind and I didn't know if
Okay.
anything was legit. So that's exactly what I just said.
Yeah. And then as that kind of goes on and everything like that, stuff just starts based upon what Ms. Stauch is telling you. It's not adding up.
Repeat that, please, sir.
As this kind of day goes on and the days are progressing, the things that Ms. Stauch is telling you about your son and where he might be, it's starting to not add up with you.
Yeah, starting with the rental car, as we've already addressed, it starts to not add up. Yes,
And
sir.
then when you see that her car is not at French Elementary, like I said, was kind of, I think what you testified yesterday, that was kind of the pivotal moment for you.
Yes, sir.
And then you go down to the police station, you want her to come down as well, and she won't come down to meet you at the sheriff's station.
Just to clarify, she was supposed to be the one to go to the police station. The defendant was.
Yeah.
The first time I went down there, I went in her stead because they asked to bring something to get Gannon's DNA or whatever. And I said, he's my son. I'm going to take it down there and I'm going to,
Okay.
lead the charge, if you will, whatever. And then, so I went down there and that's when the first interview took place,
Okay.
just to clarify.
And then after that, though, you come back again, and it's my understanding you were trying to get her to come down, even on that second interview, come down to the police station to be re-interviewed, or the sheriff's station.
When you say re-interviewed, you mean me or the
Her.
defendant? I don't know when she was interviewed the first time or at all. I just know I went twice. The first time, as I indicated, when she was supposed to go, the defendant was supposed to go. The
Yeah.
second time, that evening was after I had discovered the defendant's car was not where she claimed it to have been.
And then her family, she leaves the house. Initially, she doesn't take all her stuff, but she just goes to a hotel, correct?
Ms. Tillina, I have no clue where she
Okay.
went.
She doesn't, she's no longer coming to your house.
After that would have been Let me see if I can get these dates right. The 27th was Monday. I think this would have been Wednesday, the 29th after she left. I don't remember her coming back until she came to get her stuff.
Okay. And how many days after that did she come to get her stuff?
I don't remember a specific date.
Okay. But I mean, it's in that first week though.
I don't remember a specific date, Mr. Trelawney. If you
Okay.
have it, then I don't know.
No, it's fine. And she had family members that are helping her move
We
out.
did have a few, yes.
Okay. And then you don't ever, until, I think what you said after that point, you don't see her from then, until court.
I don't believe I saw her again after she left, after she got her stuff, that within that first week, whatever the date was, until she showed up for the first court hearing after she was arrested, the defendant that is.
Now, between then and then, I think the first pre-recorded phone call we heard was on February 13th. Had you been in communication with her?
To some degree, yes.
Was it primary text messages, phone calls?
I think it was just a mix of emails, text, phone calls. I don't remember specifically. I know there was a wide range of methods.
And at least, I mean, would it be fair to say by the time that you're doing these phone calls with her, I mean, you're convinced at that point in time she's the person responsible for your son being missing?
At minimum, a person of interest, if you will, but
Yeah.
yeah, I had a high suspicion she was responsible.
I mean, and part of that is because, I mean, one, what she was telling you things that weren't true about leaving the car there. So that was the first thing that really shifted, correct?
When you say because, I'd rather tell you the because, but yes, that was one of the first things was that really put her as a person of interest in my mind, and I've said that repeatedly.
And then she goes from saying that Gannon never came home to like a couple days later saying Eduardo was down there and raped me and took Gannon at gunpoint.
No, before she left the house, the
Okay.
defendant told me the first rape story. We covered that yesterday.
Okay, and sorry, thank you for clarifying that. So she's still in the house with you when she comes up, changes from he just doesn't come home to this Eduardo rape story.
Yeah, I don't remember when the specific name Eduardo was given by the defendant, but the first rape story would have been Wednesday morning in a master bedroom, as I testified to yesterday.
And then you're aware that she goes down to the sheriff's statement and does an interview about the rape story.
I believe that was later that morning or early afternoon. I don't know specifically when she got there.
Okay, I mean, and at that point, I mean, it's fair to say now, I mean, whatever suspicions, I mean, your suspicions become more heightened at that point about her involvement. When it goes from he doesn't come home to this seemingly ridiculous story.
Yeah, and I've been pretty clear
Yeah.
from the point of not finding her car where the defendant said it was. From that point forward, everything just compounded, and my suspicions just got worse and worse against the defendant.
Absolutely. And what you know of her, I think you said this to a couple people, I mean, she's an intelligent person.
Do you have record of me saying that to
I
someone?
do. Sorry, I've got a lot of transcripts here. Remember indicating that she had a stacked education?
Once again, do you have that
Okay.
somewhere?
Yeah, this was an interview with Detective Bethel. I mean, you may go ahead. Green highlighted with a little.
So that was the second one. Do you have?
That I'll just go with that one. But you
Okay.
indicated that she had a stacked education.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, I did.
You may go ahead. So after, was it that Wednesday then, after she goes down to the sheriff's station, that then she doesn't come home at that point?
So I don't know where so
Okay, she
that
left
day,
that morning.
she left sometime Wednesday, middle of the day. I don't know specifically when.
Okay.
Detective Riley was at the house. I heard the conversation between them two. She left with the intent to follow him downtown to the sheriff's station. I don't know where she went from there.
Did she ever come back home after that, other than to get her stuff?
Not while I was there. I never witnessed her coming back home after that.
And then in February, that's when, February 13th, was that the first pretext phone call?
I believe so.
And where were these phone calls occurring at?
At the FBI office downtown.
Okay. And was it something, had you communicated with her that you wanted to talk to her on that date, or how did they know like she was going to be calling at this point in time?
Who was they?
The FBI.
The FBI. Leading up to that point, there was some attempts at communicating more thoroughly with the defendant.
Yeah.
The defendant reached out to me and said, "Hey, we would need to talk," as you heard in some of the phone calls.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I believe as of that, like I said this morning, I tried to keep her on the hook, if you will,
No, absolutely.
through messages. And then, all of those would have been planned to some degree. So I could be there with the FBI agents and the sheriff's office agents.
And they had kind of, there was a plan. I mean, you were trying to get as much information out of her as you could.
Me or the
Both
authorities?
you and the FBI.
I can't speak to what their plan or their intent was. My intent was to find my son, period.
Absolutely. And I think you said before when Mr. Allen was questioning, a lot of the things you were saying to her was to try to keep her talking, try to get any type of information, that you can about where your son is,
Absolutely.
and trying, hope against hope to bring him home safely at this point.
Yes, sir.
And if not, then find out what had happened and hold somebody accountable.
My intent was never in that setting to hold somebody accountable. I wanted my son and I wanted to wrap my arms around him. That's it.
Absolutely. And it appeared, and maybe I'm wrong. So we had the one phone call that occurred on the 13th, and then all the other phone calls, if I'm not mistaken, occurred on February 14th.
The ones that I testified about this morning, I think those were all February 13th and 14th.
And how, just for my clarification, how long of a gap was there between each of the phone calls? Do you remember?
I don't, but I think Mr. Allen detailed that when he said phone call on this date at this time.
What was there, just as far as your recollection, was there a long gap? Were you guys sitting around for like hours waiting in between calls, or were they fairly quick succession between each other?
Mr. Lee, I don't remember. That was a grueling time period in my life to sit there and have to keep my cool.
Absolutely.
Talking to her when I had a strong suspicion she had all the information. So I can't attest to that, Mr.
Okay.
Lee.
I mean, and it's clear at least that you appear on February 13th to keep your cool very well. It appears, and if I'm wrong on this, your patience on February 14th starts to grow thin. Would that be fair to say? Let me rephrase.
Yes, thank you.
You become more and more frustrated with the cockamamie story she's telling you on February 14th.
I don't know if I think I'm frustrated, period.
Absolutely.
I think I'm at the end of my rope, period. But I did a good job keeping my cool. And if you listen to one of the phone calls, I was a little bit more aggressive verbally. And in a later phone call, I was more patient and letting her give me information. So more calculated than frustrated, Mr.
Okay,
Lee.
so that was part of this. You're trying different tactics to try to get information. Would that be fair?
I'm doing the best I can to find information about my son.
Information. And was there frustration by the fact that she keeps changing these stories with no consistency between them? And I think you referred to them. These are garbage stories.
Yeah, it was very frustrating.
And that they don't make any sense. At one point in time, she says it's Eduardo, and then another point in time she says Quincy Brown's some type of paperwork fell out of his pants on that date, and that's how she knows he's Quincy Brown. I mean, none of this stuff, they were ridiculous.
Is that your?
I'm asking you, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I said, and you heard me say it. They're garbage stories, is what you quoted me as saying.
And even on that, the first one, the one that we heard yesterday, on that phone call that she had yesterday, she's trying very hard to convince you that she didn't have anything to do when somebody had kidnapped Gannon and had taken him somewhere, and she's trying to help. It appears that is her goal, so what she's telling you.
Mr. Lane, I'm not going to speak to her goals or her intent, what was going through her mind at that point.
She wasn't at that point in time trying to indicate anything, mental health or anything like that. That was phone call. She's not telling you, hey, I'm crazy on the 13th, correct?
I don't believe she said that in any of those phone calls.
But in some of those phone calls, She does make some statements. And I'm going on to the February 13th phone call. She indicates at one point in time when she's talking to you, I have completely parts of the information and not part of the information.
Is that, are you recording that? Could you say that again?
She told you that she has part of the information, but she doesn't have part of the information.
Okay.
She talks to you about that night after night, I dreamed of different things that have added detail to this.
Okay.
She tells you that at some point she blacked out.
Are you recording?
Yes.
Okay, then I have no reason to deny her saying that, yes.
At one point, she says, I sit back and remember it, like play it in my mind, play it in my head again, play it in my head again, play it in my head again.
Okay.
She says, when I woke up and like out of the state of confusion, I was going crazy.
Okay.
She tells you all of it was a blur in and out, try to figure it out. I got up at one point and hoped it was a dream.
Okay.
And then on that next phone call that occurred on the 14th, she's talking to you and she indicates you're going back and forth. I think it was the second to last phone call that you had with her. You guys are going kind of back and forth. And at one point, you're trying to figure out where Gannon is. She says, Tesha doesn't know where Gannon is.
I don't remember her saying that, but
Okay.
if you want to show me that, you don't have to, but I don't remember her saying that.
Okay. It's on the recording they have.
Okay.
As far as, and now I'm going to kind of shift to more like just general things of your relationship with Miss Stauch. You've indicated that at some point, and sometimes with her, it's like you're living on a roller coaster. She can be up and down.
Did I say that to someone?
Yeah. Again, this is the Detective Bethel. Sometimes you just got to kind of stay with her and don't ride the roller coaster. Or if you disagree with her, it becomes like a roller coaster.
Sure.
Okay. You talked about her with the kids, and you've indicated that, and this would be later in March, you did another interview and you did this with the FBI, March 6th, 2020. You remember doing an interview with the FBI then?
I did multiple interviews, so I might
Yeah.
need to see that one, Mr. Tellini.
Okay. You indicated to them that sometimes it was a little strange. Sometimes she could be really great with the kids, doing everything with them, and then you'd have weeks where she would act like she didn't want anything to do with them.
You mind if I take a look at that?
Yeah,
I don't remember that doing an interview that time frame.
I may approach. You may. Okay.
Hold on, this says February 9th. It says interview of Albert Stauch, February 9th. You indicated March 9th.
That's because the first date has a 3.
Okay.
So you're so February 9th, so it's my fault.
Thank you.
I think that was, I'm going to blame that on the FBI because on the first page of that interview, they have 3-9. But you're correct. So I'm
Can we
February.
clarify what the date actually is of the
It
interview?
is, you were correct. It's February
February.
9th. You did that interview with the FBI. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
But at that point in time, you told them that some point she would be really great with kids, and then other times she wouldn't want it. She wouldn't.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
You also, in that interview, I think it was that Monday with Detective Riley, same type of thing. Like 1 minute, considering these moments of trust moments, like right now, I say, you should be all in, helping the kids, teach, doing homework, cooking, feeding and stuff. And then there'd be days in a week, like it's like the kids were left to fend for themselves.
What Monday are you referencing?
The Monday where you had, not Monday, this would have been Tuesday, when you had the interview with Detective Riley back, so January 28th.
Okay. So where this was the interview at
With
the
the
sheriff's office?
Yes, with Detective Riley. Okay. And you were telling him, describing how Ms. Stauch was with the kids, and you indicate that there are moments and times when she's really good, she's helping the kids, doing everything like that, and then other times where it appears like she's just checked out.
Yes, sir.
You indicated that sometimes her and Layden seemed to work together to try to get you.
Yeah, probably in jest, but
Okay.
yeah.
And then other times they appear to be at each other's throats.
Who's they?
Ms. Stauch and Layden.
Lena? If I said that.
Not Layden, Layden.
Landon?
Landon, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah,
Landon. I
okay,
apologize.
then I take back what I just said. Yeah, can you start over with
Okay.
Landon? Because I thought you said Lena.
And yeah, Landon, with your first ex-wife, you indicated that sometimes her and Ms. Stauch would work together like they were out to try to get you, and other times they were at their throats constantly.
Yes, sir.
You indicated, and again, if I'm jumping back and forth, that Ms. Stauch would take lots of trips out of the blue and you didn't know where she got the money to do it.
Yes, sir.
You indicated when you talked to the district attorney's investigator that sometimes Ms. Stauch likes to refer to herself as Taylor.
Yes, sir.
She had, let me jump back a little bit and we're almost done, sir.
Take time, Mr. Trelane.
Okay, thank you. When you guys first started, when you and Ms. Stauch first started dating and the relationship was going well, she had talked to you about the abuse she suffered growing up.
She mentioned that there was something with one of her stepfathers. I think his name would have been Mr. Lowry, and that I don't remember it being a pattern of abuse, but some isolated events is the way she described it to me. And she eventually moved out of that house and back with her grandparents in North Carolina.
And that was James Lowry. Do you remember?
I don't know his first name. I just remember the last name Lowry.
And I don't want to get into this, but that was kind of a bond that you got, not a bond, but that was, you had in your family growing up, but I don't want to go into it, but not with you, but trauma growing up. And so that was something that, a basis that you guys could talk about initially in the relationship.
We discussed it. I don't know if it's a foundational basis like you're describing it, but
She had issues maintaining steady employment.
I think that's a misrepresentation of what happened, but
I mean, I think you indicated that she had like 8 jobs in 3 years.
right. And she intentionally left those jobs. It
Okay.
wasn't, she had trouble keeping employment. She intentionally left those jobs.
Okay, but she had a lot of different jobs in a short period of time.
Yes, sir.
You're aware of in the late fall of 2019, she was having mental health issues.
I'm not aware of that.
Are you aware that she was, well, you guys have the same insurance, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware that she was seeing a Dr. Rhonda Niederhauser at Fort Carson?
We did. So let me clarify. We did have the same insurance while myself and the defendant were married. Obviously no longer do, but yes, I went with her on one occasion to see Dr. Niederhauser. Well, to Fort Carson. I did not go back into the room with her. With the defendant, I stayed in the lobby, but I was with her on that visit.
And that and actually for most of your guys' relationship, she'd been prescribed lorazepam.
I don't know for sure if most of our relationship, I know she at some point saw somebody for anxiety
Okay.
and got a prescription for something. That's all I remember, Mr. Tellini.
Are you aware that Dr. Niederhauser advised her to quit her job because her mental health issues were becoming so severe?
I am not aware of that.
Okay. But you are, to your knowledge, if you know, how often was she seeing Dr. Niederhauser?
Same answer I already gave. I know that she went once, and that was the one time that I went with her. That's all I can attest to, Mr. Tellini.
When you had, again, I'm jumping back to when you had that interview with Detective Riley. At that point in time, were you having concerns about Ms. Stauch and her involvement? When you had the interview with Detective Riley
And her involvement in what, Mr. Tellini?
in the disappearance of your son?
Yeah, we've already, Ask your question again, please, so I can.
When you interviewed with Detective Riley that first time, were you having concerns about her involvement?
So just to be clear, the first time by myself or,
First time by yourself.
yeah, I did have some concerns.
And you indicated that you don't think that she had any mental health issues?
No,
at all?
sir. No, I did indicate that I don't think she had any
Okay.
mental health issues.
Do you remember at that point in time, telling Detective Riley, I hope that it doesn't come to that, but if you put her daughter on the hot seat, she'll say, I love my mom. You know, I wouldn't do anything without my mom, but she's freaking nuts, you know, crazy.
So that was drawn, I remember saying that or something to that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you told the detective that she's crazy.
Mr. Tellini, would you quote what you just quoted to me?
Or you told the detective that Harley would say that her mom is freaking nuts, crazy.
That's what I said.
Okay. No further questions.
Redirect, Mr. Allen.
There were some questions, Mr. Stauch, about the defendant being a good softball player. Do you remember those?
Yes, sir.
Does softball have rules?
Absolutely.
Did the defendant know how to follow those rules?
Absolutely.
Did she know how to play the game?
Very well.
Did she know how to use specific techniques and strategies in playing softball?
I would say her being a coach at the high school softball level would indicate all those things are yes.
You jumped to my next question.
Yeah.
Did she also go through efforts to teach other people how to play the rule, follow the rules of softball?
Yes, sir.
Is that an indication that she knew the difference between right and wrong?
Yes, sir.
You were asked at the very beginning too about when you got custody of your kiddos, Gannon and Lena, that it was a safer environment with the defendant than with Landon. Do you remember those questions?
Yes, sir.
Would you have thought that if the defendant had severe mental health disease or defect?
Absolutely not.
Did she have a severe mental health disease or defect back then?
No, sir.
You were asked in different points of the cross-examination about your interviews with Detective Riley. And I want to be a little bit more of a timeline here. Do you remember having an interview with Detective Riley and other people at Starbucks, and that being your first contact with law enforcement in this case in person?
Yes, sir.
And then you went to the El Paso County Sheriff's Office to deliver, I think you said some stuff for DNA. What did you deliver?
I remember there being a toothbrush and maybe, I don't remember specifically, but some sort of article of clothing, a shoe or something that would have his, it wasn't spoken to me that way, but I assumed it was for DNA purposes.
And then I think you said that you had an interview at the end of that. When you dropped the stuff out, then you did an interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember what day that was?
That would have been Tuesday, January 28th, 2020.
The Starbucks thing, when did that occur? Was that also Tuesday, January?
Tuesday, earlier in the day.
Okay. And then you had a third interview in person at the sheriff's office when you came back. What day was that?
Later in the evening, Tuesday, January 28th, 2020.
You were asked about specifically showing a specific page of the interview, the first one at Starbucks, where Mr. Tellini was asking you about when you got Gannon into counseling.
Yes.
And there was some disagreement between you and Mr. Tellini about when that counseling may have started, or when you said that the counseling had started. Who is Dr. Burtek?
She was I don't know specifically, but she was some sort of family health counselor that Gannon got assigned to at Fort Carson.
So could you have signed Gannon up for counseling at Fort Carson before you got to Colorado?
No, sir.
So did that occur after you got to Colorado?
Yes, sir.
Which was in when?
I got here February 15th or thereabouts, 2019.
When you were having that first contact with Detective Riley at Starbucks, did you have a lot on your mind?
Absolutely.
The information that you had on your mind as it relates to Gannon being missing, where were you getting that information from that initial period of time?
Everything was coming from the defendant.
At that time, did you have any reason to necessarily disbelieve her that Gannon had left and not come home?
No, sir, not at that time.
And did that change over time?
Yes, sir.
Did that change over time because of the defendant's specific actions?
Yes, sir.
You were asked about you having conversations with your mother